you're everything I need. A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? And what if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side.
All right, folks, it looks like there is something wrong with the chat setup, and I don't know what's happening. So I am going to throw it out there for anybody who has any idea about Stream Elements to help out. I have no idea there. So, a rather interrupted setup, but as you can see, there is a blue box, but there is no chat showing up. I've got 15 different keys up, so this has all come after we've started, which is not ideal.
There should be a little dash and arrow up in the top right-hand corner.
Whereabouts?
So top right-hand corner of... So... Oh, you're talking about getting the chat actually down on the main part of the screen, not just the chat that people type into, right?
Yeah, no, I've got the chat. I can see that.
Yeah.
It's just accessing the chat so it shows up on screen, which I think is my OBS. So if you look on the actual stream, I can't see it.
Yeah.
I've got my Stream Elements up, and I can see it on Stream Elements when you type I have mine. I can see that on Stream Elements. It's just not coming through.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I have.
Yeah.
That's why we started the stream, and then I disappeared, and then we started the stream again.
Yeah.
But my entire OBS sort of reset since last time I was on.
Yeah.
So I don't even have the setup going on. Setup button tipping, browse overlays. No. So I'm in my overlay and it's not working. That's the problem. I don't have my... Yeah, lots of my stuff has disappeared here out of nowhere and I don't love it. Let us save again. Let us go out of that streaming soon page and into the interactions page. We will be doing some roleplay tonight, so we won't be able to see all of the chat, but you'll be able to see the chat on the side there. Let's look at streaming soon, gaming overlay, session 0, single play, interactions page. Let's edit that one, see if we can't fix it. So I'll have a pretend follower event show up, and I can see it, but the other can't. So something fishy is happening. That is unfortunate. I'll give it one more go on the game page for today. Session 0, game, space. Let's try one more time, and you can actually see in the background whether it's going to work. It should be showing up right down there underneath, and it's not. So something fishy has gone on with my Stream Elements. Or the way I've done, more accurately, the way I've done the Stream Elements. So if we have an expert, I will gladly accept your assistance. But right now, it looks to me like we're going to have to fly without that, and I'll have to just look at the chat on the side. I probably can't drop that either. So the faces come back. All right, we've got our faces there. So you know what? Not an ideal start. Probably my fault for not knowing what I'm doing. But here we are on the page where we'll be able to do some role playing. So this is our session 0 role playing page. We've got Owlbear Rodeo up here ready to go. So let's import us a map. And spoilers, it's going to be this one. And let's say hello to Brendo, who's below me.
Hello.
And then on the other below me, which is backwards down there, that's Sasha. And right down the bottom, coming back in a few minutes, will be Kitty. So welcome to our first 3 role players.
Hi. Also, if you see Lil Siren Lilith in the chat, that's me.
Let's bring up.
Hey, Kitty's here.
Excellent. So, Brendo, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well, boss man. How are you?
Very well, thanks. And Kitty, I can see those new that headset you were talking about with the ears. That is amazing.
They actually glow different colours, but with this light, it's hard to see. Hold on. If I turn out the light, give me a sec.
I love him. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that
pretty
is
cool.
cool.
They
That is
also,
so awesome.
you can pick the colour, but you can also make it respond to like game sounds and stuff, so the colours change depending on stuff. That's very exciting for me.
That is pretty
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, 1, for like the 4th time, I love them. And 2, you need to send me a link for those.
Yeah, see, they're blue now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the pink.
Is that a green now, or is that just how the blue
Yeah,
is showing up?
no, they're green, and then they're red.
That is gold. I mean, obviously it's not gold; it's red, but it's amazing.
It's red gold.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and you can make them like do all sorts of cool stuff, but I am not. Let's not get distracted. I've been trying to focus on my other technical problems.
That's all right. I've been having some of my own, if I'm honest.
Oh, it's just endless. I will get my lights back on so I can actually read my notes.
We're going to need those because you're pretty much in charge tonight, from what I remember.
Wait, no. Oh shit, we're all screwed.
Well, it's all right. That's how I feel as well, because the level of planning that I intended to do for this and the level of planning that I did do for it don't
Congratulations,
exactly...
you're a GM now.
Yeah, I know, right? 100%.
Yeah, so I sort of stepped back from all my ideas because I was like, wait, if this goes in a whole different direction, then, you know, I don't know what's going on. And so I just won't do too much. So I was like, oh, I'll just have ideas and have my notes and hope that something works out.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I'm sure we'll get it.
I've taken all those notes and I've sort of crushed and quashed. And on Sunday night, we had an impromptu, oh my goodness, I need to do something about this stream. Where,
Oh, okay. I missed that.
where Book God, thankfully, was there. And Book God, who you've all probably seen in the chat, is one of our 3 or 4 amazing, wonderful people who always save the day. And we went through and did some set up. Goof to go.
Yeah, well, I have a lot more half-formed notes, but I'm hoping that this will work out well, because I didn't really know what was happening with the other characters either, so it's all going to be improv, right?
Yeah, 100%. In fact, in the early section, if your character's not introduced yet, I'm going to ask some people just to jump in and improv some NPCs if you're all good for that. Now, I think I vaguely said that in the chat, but here's your on-screen official. Are you all cool to do that? Otherwise, some of you will be waiting for a while, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Legendary.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So essentially, before we start, what I've done here is try to get a bit of an idea where we can vaguely pull everyone together by the time we start the full game. Now, my thought was around the time that Tanare or Tanare, how do I say your character's name, Kitty?
Tanare.
Tanare, thought so. So about the time Tanare has decided to leave her cloister, or at the time it happens in our history in the game, is around the time I had Formosus wandering towards Sedendria and going, I know, let's go and try and do something at Stormbreak. Does that sound good?
Yeah, perfect.
Now, I know, Kitty and Sashi, there's potential for some history between your characters, which we won't go into now or in this one, and I would say that has happened in the past. Does that work for everyone's assorted timelines?
Yeah, I think so. I can alter my
Yeah.
timeline.
Excellent.
I ended up dropping out a little bit. That was my mistake, accidentally hitting mute in a tab bar. So right between, just before the past, what
Yeah.
you were saying.
So we're basically looking back into the past for when Tenare leaves the cloister and when Formosus sort of heads towards the city and decides to... And is it Formosus for you, Brendo? That's right, isn't it?
That's it. You got it. Yep.
Cool. And
So,
and
it's
Elf...
just a,
Oh, sorry.
these are my island notes so far.
Oh, wow.
Not written up properly, and then some of my planning sketches coming along.
That is fantastic. So, Sasha...
And are we going to be doing a little bit from when Elfia ended up coming over to the islands for just a bit, just so we can establish sort of us meeting the first time?
No, I think we're going to put
No.
that into flashback later on so
Flashback?
you guys can build it
Flashback
up.
episode?
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll run out of time and we won't do it justice. Do you know what I mean?
I think it
Yeah.
would work well as just a like us
Yeah, that's
talking
fair.
kind of downtime
Yeah.
when you're trying to fill gaps in.
Yeah, that works.
So the place that I'm hoping to get us to tonight, though, is by the end of this session, I would hope that we do end up in the city,
Yeah.
which would therefore mean that we would be able to have you come in at that stage, and that's where I'd have you guys meet, and either you guys recognize or you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so something didn't work there, so I'm going to need to jump that up onto a different screen. Sorry, just trying to work out how we're going to do this. That's not going to go there either. So if there's stuff disappearing and appearing on stream, just bear with me while I work out how... There we go. I think that will be the way to make it work. And then we'll bring this one up as well, and hopefully it will stay like that. Community. Contacts.
So in the stream chat, I'm Archaic Engine, by the way.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm Brenda's brain.
Wait, what? Your
Oh, wait,
Brenda's
hang on.
brain?
I
Oh dear, what have I done?
Yep. And I'm Little Siren Lilith.
Yeah.
Why is everything suddenly not working again?
Yeah, you're looking too closely at it.
Insights, it's not even on the right page anymore.
Oh man.
Did that fix it? Yes. So
Oh my god.
Oh, we're back.
I just realized my headphones have stream reactive lighting, which means that people watching can change the colors in my lights on my headset. That's great. I haven't set it up yet. I'm not setting it up now, but
Oh, next stream, that's got to be something for like a token donation.
yeah,
Like
Oh,
donate tokens to choose the lighting.
100%.
I'll just play in the dark next time. Cool.
Alright. That's going to have to do for now. Between now and the next stream, I've got to work out. So just for the audience who are going, wow, it's usually such a polished stream and it's not today, of whom obviously there are none, we decided this afternoon when we should have been loading on that we couldn't use Discord anymore. It just wasn't effective enough. It wasn't happening. It wasn't working. So we bailed on it, and we're actually using OBS Ninja for our vision tonight, which is already better in the back end. I just haven't learned to use it, so I'm learning as we go. So I apologize for the glitches and the things that won't work today. It's all right. Moose has been day drinking since 11 a.m. this morning, and it's 2 hours later than it is here then, and he still doesn't believe that I wouldn't be prepared. So, you know, that is a trusting liar. I mean, person. Anyway, are we ready?
Sure.
Ready as we're gonna be.
Let's do it then.
Yeah, it'll be fine. This is all gonna be fine.
Yeah,
no
no,
one's
this
gonna
fine.
die.
This fine. Don't say that.
That's what my shirt says.
Don't say that.
This is fine.
All right. Now, if anything stops working properly, just let me know because I am playing with background on background here. So I'm dropping into D&D Beyond. I will try and keep on our session 0 engagement chat, but with the number of different windows, I've got to work out a system that allows us to do a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And that one's definitely not. So I'm actually probably just going to be doing a little dance between windows. So every now and then I'll check Discord. So if you're only on Discord and I don't respond a lot tonight, I apologize. But just going to have to work out some management. So I would recommend chat in stream. There are no limitations as to whether or not you need to be a follower or a subscriber to chat. That seems like a mean thing to do, so I'm not doing it for now. So jump into the chat on Twitch, and we'll be able to chat to you. Please forgive us if we don't immediately interact verbally with the chat while we're playing. All three of us, I think, have access to that stream chat. Am I right?
Yep.
Which means
it's
you
delayed, but it's there.
Yeah, you might have any one of us either chatting in when we're not doing something, but it will only be on downtimes when we're not actually role-playing or nothing's happening that we'll probably be able to mention stuff. And that will be a developing thing because I quite often see something shiny and say something and drop character, and I've got to probably try not to do that. Anyway, let us begin. Formosus, before we roll up, you're saying in your story you sort of just appeared. Do you have any missing backstory in your missing history, or do you know everything that happened? You just think you're Fae.
Well, I have no idea where I originally came from, and as far as my adopted mum is concerned, no, you just look different, but it's fine. You're always one of us. You've been one of us the whole time. Exactly. You are just special and unique, and you have all of these gifts. Now go out and share your talent with the world, which is just what he does. He just wanders from place to place, building whatever kind of reputation he can.
Well, Formosus, we open with you in a very common place. It's a place you've been before, and it's a place that you know you'll be again. You are on the open road. You are wandering with purpose, but not too much, because nobody needs too much purpose.
That's exhausting.
You are wandering from Sundar. You had views as you wandered that you hadn't heard of anyone who'd played or performed in the elvish trees of the Sundar before, and you're reflecting on how that attempt went as you walk. How did it go?
Shall we find out?
Let's.
All right, I'll roll a performance check.
Ooh. First roll of the game.
So I just rolled
First
my
roll,
D&D Beyond.
First roll.
Oh yeah, I did see it come up, but I missed it. What was it?
It's a 12.
A 12.
It could be better.
The people who saw you at the gate as you were turned away were really impressed. They were like, you know what, I'm not sure that was the right decision. Off you go. And so you're a little bit dejected. But it's not the first time you've been rebuffed, particularly by elves. They seem to be a little bit tetchy, and their tastes aren't always correct, you know.
I do not know why. They just do not like me.
They said some stuff you've heard before, something about the horns. And
They are just jealous. It is fine.
you've been used to that forever. You know you're a little bit different. You know that your kind are not regularly seen on Vendelin. So you found a sort of comfort with it over the years.
It is just part of it is just who I am. It makes me unique and special. It is fine.
But failure leads to greater ambition, and you decided that seeing as you couldn't make your way into Tsundar to perform, instead, you thought, why not try the cloistered islands of Stormbreak, where no one you have heard of has performed?
Oh.
It would be a legendary feat.
And so you've been walking along the Taldar River for a few days now, in no great rush, when you hear behind you the familiar sound of wheels on the gravel path and hooves. And
Good. Thank the mother. I just start sticking my thumb out, to the side as you do.
before long, a carriage pulls around a bend, a treed bend, pulled by a singular horse, not ornate in any way, just a carriage. If it wasn't for the fact that the road had been otherwise deserted today, it would have barely rated a mention. But your tired feet suddenly feel as though you might be getting a race. So as you put out your arm and the carriage slows to a stop next to you, you wonder who will be inside. The carriage opens, and peering out of it, you see a tall, wiry, slender even individual. Sallow skin, long ears, aged, even for an elf.
And
Leaning,
like, oh, good, it's an elf.
leaning on a cane, they peer out and they look at you and say, "Walking.
I know,
Interesting."
and in these pristine boots too. It is a sin. Thank the gods that you have arrived to assist me, friend.
Indeed. I am Zalna. Are you the strange one who attempted to perform at the fair city of the trees just last eve?
Well, I would not refer to myself as the strange one, but I definitely did try to perform.
A shame. Those bows need music from time to time. However, this is a fond meeting. I have a story for you.
Oh, I do love me a good story.
Join me in the carriage.
Why not? Yeah, let's do it.
In the carriage, you sit down and you look up, and it's not velvet, but it's so fluffy like velvet. And you think it's purple, but it might just be a faded black. Once you've sat down, you suddenly feel a sense of foreboding engulf you. Not harmed at all by the fact that sitting next to this elf, Zalnar, is what you thought might be a gnome, but is definitely the ugliest gnome you've ever seen, with a big red cap. Roll me a knowledge check, just an intelligence plus any modifier you think's appropriate to find out if you know what this creature is.
Ooh, 19 plus 3. Nice, 22.
You think gnome for an absolute split session, and then you recoil back, unless you catch yourself, as a red cap glares up at you. Now, I know you're mid-mouthful there, Sasha, but how would you like to play a petulant red cap who's just having a break from murder for a while?
I definitely have a stunned expression on my face, like to be like,
So, right, another person taking up my leg room.
Excellent. Zalnar looks at your shock and across at the companion on the seat and went, "Ah, I see you've recognized Dot."
Yes, it is a pleasure, Dot. I like your cap. It is very nice.
Just checking the cap to see if it's wet or dry. Could use a refresh.
Remember, you said you were on a break. Holidays are important for all.
Yes, but so is our nature.
It's all right.
Now that is
I'm
something
sure
I
you've got
can
a
agree
plan.
with you, my red-capped friend. You cannot fight against your own nature.
Dot,
Yeah.
and before Dot says something, you can see the sort of the couched rage sort of building. Zalnar goes, "Dot is traveling with me in payment of a debt, which brings us to our evening. You walk in the footsteps of grave events, Master Tiefling.
I'm sorry, what?
Master Tiefling. What is your name? I'm sorry."
Oh, Tiefling is not my name, my friend. I am Formosus of the Sealy, so you can just call me Formosus or Form or whatever you like.
Formosus, of course. And they pause, just sort of cock their head a little bit, and continue.
Don't look like no Sealy I've ever seen.
And that means that you do not get enough friends. There you go.
And
Evidently.
and again, talking across what could otherwise end in a bloodbath, Zalnar says, "You may know not the path that you tread, but I have some vision therein. Care to take your chance?"
Sure, I see no harm in it.
They hold two hands out, one like this and one like this. Take your pick. Futures or a shortcut.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a blink dog by the toe. If it growls, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Well, I guess it is the left one.
Futures. Interesting. And they sort of lean down beside, pick up a pile of cards, quickly shuffle them, and hold them out. Take your pick then.
Do I just pick one? Do I pick 3, 2, 1?
One at a time. We'll see where it takes us.
Okay, let's peek. And I just close my eyes and I flutter my hands and I'll pick card number 4.
The Prince in Waiting. And another.
And I'll pick the one at the very end on the right.
The New Moon.
Okay, and I'm guessing one more.
One more.
Okay, and I'm going to reach for one. That's like the 8th or 9th card with my right hand, but then grab the 3rd card with my left hand and pick that one out.
And they pull it up and look at their face. They look at you again. They turn it up the other way. Interesting. The Certain End.
Oh, that sounds quite foreboding.
They're cards. Obviously they're foreboding. Would you like to
Indeed.
know what it means?
Of course, I would hate to go through this whole experience and not understand what is happening.
Well, I'll be giving you something. How should we seal the deal?
Ooh, a deal. Well, friend, what is this deal?
Deals are made in the decision. Do you choose to continue, or will you leave future to itself?
Well, I feel like I've already come this far. Why not? Let's just keep going.
Very well. And they turn out the 3 cards on the floor between you. The Prince in Waiting, the New Moon, and the Certain End. Cosmic changes come that none can stop from those outside. You and the friends you meet may hold sway over all. But first, there is a task. You seek a sacred cloister. Am I right?
I guess you could call it that, yes. It is just one of my many audiences that I seek to branch out into.
Well, you're there. And wherever you go, henceforth, spread the word that darkness is rising again. And there are few who can stop it. Remember yourself. There is one in that cloister, loosening themselves from home. Speed them on their way.
I always like to think that I come across as a positive influence on all I come across, so that should not be a problem.
And so she puts her 2 arms on a little cane and leans forward and said, "Now, let's seal the business with a nice cup of tea." And again, she sort of reaches into a little box underneath and brings out a small tea set. And within a few moments, it's boiling and bubbling. And she passes one to the red cap. She passes one to you and takes one for herself. Pours them out. Holds up the tea and then nods for you to drink. And she, as is polite, she waits to see what happens.
Well, as with all things, if we must seal a deal, we must seal it in the correct way. We must do it 3 times. So, if you may indulge me, we have 1 clink for good friends, and I gesture my teacup towards the red cap.
Sure.
And Zalnar holds out the cup as well and says, "Oh, Dot, you're all growth today, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And I will
Don't get used to it.
turn towards the elven lady. 2 high fortunes. And tink with her if she allows.
High fortunes indeed.
And hopefully to fame and fortune and cloistered friends. And well, that should be fine. Good influences. Cheers. And I put it in the middle for all 3 of us to clink.
And Zalnar joins.
Good luck.
And I will drink.
And as you drink, Zalnar holds up the cane and goes, "Boom, roll me a Constitution saving throw."
Yes, sir. This can only go well. This is bad. This is a 3.
And that's all you remember.
Everything's fine. This is fun.
Okay.
I've drunken many suspicious substances in my time.
You'd imagine growing up with the Fae would have taught you.
If anything, it just means I engage with it even more. So it's just yes, let's go.
Oh, yeah, bards.
As you open your eyes, you find yourself on the edge of a almost green field, very, very low. You can see some swampy, marshy lands in the distance. There is no sun in the sky, no moon yet. It's late in the afternoon. And you hear the flow of water behind you. A lot of flow.
What was in the tea? Whew.
Roll me an investigation check to see if you can get your bearings. Maybe a survival check, actually. See if you can work out where you are.
So 10 plus 1. 11?
You get the impression that you're still on the river, rather further down, and you wonder whether you're closer to your intended destination. And so you look around a little bit, and you find the path. Seems like a similar path. You suspect it is, in fact, the same path.
Well, better a short ride than no ride at all. Oh, what a strange lady. Cute friend, though. And I will... Back on the road I go. The Wanderlust drives me forward.
Okay. And so you head down the road in what you think is the same direction that you were going. Now, we are just going to change scenes. So, around the same time, on the cloistered islands of Stormbreak, a young cleric... Oh, where's my Stormbreak one? A young cleric has been wrestling with their place. Dinra, we've had a few issues with everyone connecting to Discord, so we're trialing something else for the moment. So let us know how it sounds and how it goes. Tanare Oblati.
Yes.
Has spent her entire life on the island, and all is not going as it seems. Tanare, would you like to give us a small background into where you are at?
You like her immediate sort of background of
Yeah, so essentially, based on those notes you gave me, what we spoke on the text there, up to that decision that you're in the process of making.
Okay. Okay, so Tanari has spent her entire life at this monastery on these islands, and is very dedicated to her role there, and so the decision to leave is a big deal for her. She is very young and has not experienced the world beyond these islands, so yeah, she has just recently found out that her girlfriend is basically broken up with her to marry one of the local laymen that is one of the craftsmen in the village, in the town that services this monastery. So it's very emotional for her. She sort of grew up with this girl and they're best friends, and also eventually became girlfriends, and as someone young, she feels like this is like world crushing. This is the end of the world for her. Of course, you know it's not, but for her at this point, she can't bear to be on the island anymore. Now it is a very regulated sort of religion, and the island movements are not. It's not very easy to get on and off the island without official church approval, and this is not something she's going to be approved to leave. So she feels like she has to break out in another way, and sort of basically just run away.
Who have you told that that's your decision at this stage?
Okay, so it depends on where you want me to come into the actual, like, if we're playing. Um, because her intention is to say a goodbye to her girlfriend. That's basically like, I can't deal with this, I'm leaving. And then the person who she's looking to help her get off the islands, that's it. She has no intention of telling anyone else.
Excellent. Well, I would say that having said that goodbye, by the time that you take your last walk around the island, you
and
notice
collect some gear, I guess,
you notice that the only entrance to the island, the Grand Gate,
yes,
is
in the
closed.
south. Yes.
And it's
Okay.
too early for it to be closed.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah, okay.
Did your girlfriend know about your other connection?
Oh, I mean, she would have known that we knew each other. It's a small group of islands, and we sort of shared everything. I think this is her. Part of the reason why this is such a big deal is this is like the only person she's really opened up to. Like, her role on the island and in the religion is quite demanding of her. And I think like this is her one friend that she actually is like the only person who really knows her kind of deeply. So she would certainly know that she knows the other person. She sort of knows everyone kind of to a degree.
Okay, as you walk towards the front, and essentially, it's this gate here that's closed.
Yeah.
From there, where were you planning to make your escape?
I'd have to just have a quick. So where is? Okay, so I would say if I look at that map quickly, I would say I can't. How do I indicate? I can't. Can I on here? So on this the where's that map? Hold on. Oh, where's the map? In the on the northmost of the islands.
Yep. The green, the one that's
The
mainly
one that's
green.
very very green, and I would say there's a small like fishing hut or something maybe just there.
Yeah, that would probably be around this side, I would think.
Yeah, yeah.
Although
So like a little.
that one would be tethered because the eddied currents. The other spot that you'd be able to probably get a fishing spot is just here, where the current's not eddies there and isn't so
That's what I
bad.
was thinking. Yeah, like maybe it's there. My purpose is to find the person who has the expertise to navigate, not for me to navigate myself.
Fantastic. So in the dying light, you surreptitiously make your way there to what did you name this person? Because now, just for the chat, this map was made by me many the times ago, and based on Kitty's idea for her character as an obligate of not a cult, but a religion that focuses on death. I've handed most of the design of the specifics of this island over to her. So we're sort of tag teaming the idea on it now because it was something Kitty said she wanted to do, and sounds like fun.
Alright. So this man I'm looking for, his name is Byron. He is a fisherman, and he's old enough to be like older than Tenare, old enough to be very expertise and very knowledgeable, and a skilled fisherman, but also not like an ancient fisherman. Like he's still strong and fit. So maybe like the early 50s or something. So something like that, I imagine. But yeah, he's someone that I feel has the knowledge to navigate the water, but also someone who I think potentially would have reason to help me.
Awesome. Roll me an insight check, please.
Insight. Okay. While I'm doing this though, you remember when we did character creation, there was a wait, how do I? Oh, did I just roll that? 17 insight.
Tell me. Right, let's talk about what you're going to talk about before I give you the results.
Oh, just really quickly. You know, there were the extra racial bonuses for the custom
Oh,
Your
yes.
World
Yes, yes,
stuff.
yes.
I don't think we actually allocated anything like that to my character. Not important right now, but I just remembered it and really
No,
want to make sure I don't forget that.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but we haven't done it yet. So
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So anyway, 17 on the insight.
as you rush through there, you worry more and more. It seems quiet. The front gate was shut, and you're anxious and urgent to get through the city as fast as you can. Strangely enough, or luckily enough, you're not sure, you aren't stopped. By the time you get to the far island, it's just on dusk, and down along the green rolling hill that leads towards Byron's hut, you see a light on in the hut, and you feel a wave of relief go over you. The door is slightly ajar, and you move forward towards the hut.
Cool. Yeah. So I feel like this island's fairly isolated as well, so I'm not concerned about necessarily being seen, and it's not necessarily unusual for me to visit people, especially like if anyone's sick or whatever. So I'm not trying to be stealthy.
No worries. As you run up towards the gate, the door pulls back, and standing and striding out of the hut is not Byron, rather a tall, heavy-set, robed figure, wearing a hood with a silver mask covering 3/4 of their face, just with part of their mouth clear.
Huh. Who are you?
Tanare, my child. I hear disturbing news. And they lift up their mask. Roll me a perception check.
Perception. Oh no. 12.
You pause for a moment in shock. You've never seen this person yourself before.
No.
But the general look and the way they're addressing you makes you think that you probably recognize this as the theorized head of the Death Shepherds.
Who?
Do you know me? Do you know me, child?
I believe I know who you are. I know what you are. I'm surprised you know who I am. I am nobody.
We are all nobody eventually, and yes. My name is Lord Darian Eppeldeer. And as soon as you hear that name, you recognize that, yes, this is the individual that is often said to be the head of the Death Shepherds. Not something that's widely known, but it's widely assumed, particularly by the elders when they're discussing leadership and those kind of things. And it's less, they're the boss. It's more like, well, that's where the orders come from.
Yeah. Forgive me, but why are you here? I've never seen you about the islands, and this is just a small pastoral island. There's not much here but fishermen and sheep and goats. What?
Matters of grave import always warrant my attention, and this day my errands found me in Stormbreak when word came to my ear that one of our important devotees was less than comfortable. I am, of course, talking about you, young Tanare.
Me?
You-
But how do you know? No. What?
do you
Forgive
kn-
me. It's not my place to question you.
Do you not know of the operation of our order? Timeless, important. It is designed that information, when needed, should spread quickly.
Yes. Yes, I know. I know of such things. I've never seen. I've never seen such a thing. Such an important person here. I never really. I mean, I believed, but it's unexpected. Is all. Forgive me.
You know as all that death touches everyone, great, small, in between. Why should it be that greatness or ignominy act any different? I was merely here when I heard of your plight, so I was available. So I am the one who finds you here. Worry not, Byron is safe.
Is he? He's not in trouble, is he? He knows nothing of my intentions.
Byron is safe. He hasn't returned from fishing yet. You know yourself, it is only near dark.
Yeah.
He should be back any time now. But I'm afraid that you'll not be leaving by such an unsafe method. Tanare, return to your quarters, and we will speak of this ere long.
Back to the cloister, back to the temple.
Back to the temple.
I have to leave, but I will do. Yeah, I will go.
Nothing this important can be done this hastily. I will summon you before long.
Of course. Yes. She would just kind of not make eye contact and turn back around, kind of a bit unnerved and shaking, and just kind of gather her robes around her a little bit more, like she's cold, but it's not cold, and walk away.
As she walks up the path, Lord Eppelguy calls after her, and Tanare.
Yes.
All things pass. You know this. Wait for my summons. And they turn inside, back into the hut, pulling the door to.
Yes, of course. She braces herself a little bit and holds her head up again and prepares herself mentally to return where she thought she would not be returning ever again.
Now, your quarters, where are they?
So in my idea of this map, the island just east of where your mouse is right now, actually.
Yes.
I have as all the religious kind of housing and not the temples themselves, but all the functional aspects of the religious life. So where training occurs and all that sort of thing, and the residential sort of aspects. So I would say maybe where that the center. What is that?
This little guy here.
Yeah, the bit that has the green in the middle.
Yeah, that's...
maybe that's the clerical housing for her particular rank and position.
Excellent. And so, would you say that this bit here is probably the symbolic or the important part of it?
The where your mouse is now, yeah. Yeah. So I had that island as the main important temple buildings and the actual high religion stuff
Which
and
would
function.
which I assume would make these front two sort of where the pilgrims were met and accepted and sort of
Yeah.
processed.
So I had the first little island is more like dignitaries and a greeting sort of, I guess also vetting sort of area, and more more not clerical as in religion, but like admin
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. Then the next one back is for pilgrim accommodation.
Uh-huh.
So that's like a little buffer and maybe some other little functional buildings and that sort of thing. And then they get accepted into the temple proper is like the walled one.
Uh-huh.
So that would be where all the important buildings are and all the holy sites and all the secure religious artifacts and the more secure of the religious texts and things like that. I would say there is a bigger library in the North Island, but all the really highly valued religious functioning and artifacts in this walled area.
Okay, and then you've got the main sort of
So
clerical business and accommodation area down here in the bit in yellow.
Yeah, and training and all that sort of aspects and raising of the children that have been donated to serve from childhood, and all that sort of thing. And then the main central island is where you'd have all the like markets and not agriculture, but like like the blacksmiths, the bakers,
So it's the sort of the servicing township.
Yeah. And then all these other islands I had as either fishing or like herding, like pastoral kind of thing, with some of the temples spotted throughout as like like little getaway retreat type meditation areas for people who are not within the religious order. Okay. And that sort of thing.
Alrighty, excellent. Actually, this one here, what did you have that?
Which one's the? This one. Yep.
Yep.
I see. So I had that as a particular holy site where everyone from both the religious sphere and the mundane, that's not the right word, anyway, the non-religious or non-clerical people have like celebrations and festivals there, but it's a site that you're not meant to just go visit.
Excellent.
But like it is accessible to the lay people as a particularly special holy site.
Okay, well it's called Fashir's Anchor.
Cool. I was just going to ask you, but I didn't have time until like before we started that I was going to ask you if you had names for each island because I was coming up with names. But...
Nope. Even that one I made up on the spot. Just to be super, super clear, the level of pre-prep we've been able to do for this because everybody's real lives keep happening, super low. So there's going to be a lot of ad-lib, there's going to be a lot of improv, and anything that happens in these pre-sessions is liable to be that thing that you change it later and say it never happened like that.
Retconned,
that's it. Thanks very much, Sasha.
Yeah.
Now,
so this is just what I had for the islands. So
perfect. So if you would, I don't have appropriate notes for the island at the moment, so if you could just note down that we called that Fashir's Anchor, that'd be good.
I've just written on my map. I've got quite a few different versions of my maps with notes. So
okay, roll me a history check about Fashir's Anchor for me.
Sure thing. 12.
It seems older than you would think for a temple to Fashir. You know that Fashir was the first to die in this world, but you also know from your studies growing up on Stormbreak that the open worship of Fashir is something that's more recent. It's come since more to focus since the raising of Saban to godhood.
Yeah, okay.
But again, at this stage, it doesn't really touch you. It's just something that you've thought about idly from time to time.
Yep.
All right. Are there 3 or 4 different personalities that you have imagined? Probably your not direct, but your superiors, maybe a direct superior, one above them, and perhaps a higher one that doesn't sit as high as Darren Applegire.
Okay. I have started developing stories for a woman who was called the matron. She is the woman who is in charge of running and the education and raising of children. So she is fairly high up. She's like an abbotess, sort of. So she has other functions, but that's how I know her. And immediately, so her superior, and in a different part of what's the word, function, like different area of the religion, is the high priest. He doesn't have to be called high priest, but Pierre is the one who noticed my abilities with divine magic and chose me to go into the arcane clerical order instead of the more mundane just service and worship order. So he is in charge of that sort of area of the religion.
Excellent. I've got one more in mind. Do you have another, or shall I jump in?
Not really. I've got a few vague ideas, but they're the most ones that I've developed.
Okay, but between the 2 of those, I'm going to add another individual that probably sits on similar rank as the high priest.
Yep.
Mola Indermain is her name. Mola-Indermane.
Whoa, say that again. Sorry.
Mola.
Yep.
Indermane.
Okay.
There, I put it into chat. Mola Indermain, also a high priest, or high priestess, she prefers to be called. Roughly on rank with high priest Anissa, which is Pierre's surname, if you don't have one.
I hadn't come up with one yet, no.
And so the matron focuses more on the younger pupils where you stay, and so she would be the one who would probably be your direct go-to, I would imagine, when you go back into the accommodation.
Yeah.
High Priest Anissa and High Priestess Indermain, you would see much more rarely. More often, you'd have seen them in the formal areas of the islands, and going about business rather than in the residential area.
Yeah.
I am going to ask Sasha and Brendo, do you mind, Kitty, if they jump in on a couple of these?
That'd be awesome.
Okay, I want somebody to be High Priest Anissa for the moment.
Brendo, you can be a pompous arcane cleric, can't you?
Oh, have you met me in real life?
Now
I have. I can vouch for that.
I've met your character. Well, I haven't.
Very true.
High Priest Anissa, and correct me when I'm wrong here, Kitty. High Priest Anissa, probably one of the more approachable of the Council of High Priests.
Yeah.
Showed an interest particularly in Tanare because of her prodigious power, and her powers, to metagame a little bit, her powers as a cleric came to the fore very young, younger than many, younger than most, and having been trained effectively from a young age, she is prodigious. Far more able to operate at a far younger age than many. Super, super keen early, to the point where on a number of occasions, High Priest Anissa has had to slow her down, either with the other council of High Priests or in addressing Tanare directly. Consoling and supportive, but still direct and authoritative.
Yeah.
Sasha, do you want to be the matron?
I see him kind of like a headmaster, almost.
Yeah, like the Dumbledore side of headmaster, though.
Yeah. A little bit strict, a little bit stricter than Dumbledore, I'd say. But
Yeah.
Not hard.
Yeah.
And not ridden by a raging turf.
No, also that.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, considering I just wrote the character, I'm gonna say you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised.
Yeah, I think you know me better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty certain. I know you could surprise me.
That's it. Okay, so did you have a name for the matron? Because I do, if you don't.
Oh, I can't remember. I had it written down, but I'm happy to change it. It wasn't. I knew her as the matron, so to me, it's that's how I affectionately. Well, that's how I still call her that.
Okay. And that's sort of, she doesn't overtly say that, but everybody does. That's her preference, quite obviously.
Yeah.
Her name, and unless this gets retconned, of course, is Turulna Sekram, which is why she prefers to be called the matron.
Yeah.
As far as races and backgrounds, unless it's relevant, it's irrelevant. Is that about right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can play them however you want. I am going to play the High Priestess, Mola Indomain.
I'd like to make a note about matron just quickly.
Yeah.
That she is definitely has this kind of like governess strict kind of thing. There's an affection between us, but it's not necessarily like a motherly kind of fondness. She likes the kids, but she sees it as her duty to bring them up right. So there's a little bit of tension, but with maybe went through adolescence, but we're kind of over it now, sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Perfect. All right. Do you make your way back to the accommodation?
Yeah, I think I'd be numbed by this encounter and sort of a bit like I'm still processing it, like that this has happened. I think I just kind of aimlessly, well, not aimlessly, but like thoughtlessly, just go on autopilot back to my room, and maybe start kind of like I would have already collected the things I expected to leave with, so I'd sort of have this like, well, all my stuff is packed. You know what I mean? Like I didn't expect to come back to my room, so it's weird. But I've just done it on autopilot, sort of.
No worries.
A little bit shocked by what's going on still.
As you approach the complex, before you get there, you're not paying attention at all, and you hear a voice on the street. Turner, is that you? And you look up and you see Dell, the groundskeeper. Essentially, you have seen him working, particularly in the most formal and sacred areas, making sure that everything is just right. Older, human, little bit shaky, but just somebody who knows how to do it just right. So very direct with the other groundskeepers, but really, really reverent and kind to the others. This is
like a gravekeeper. Like, what do they call them? He's like the head's groundsman, right?
Yeah, essentially. He says,
but for the sacred stuff, not just for the.
Yeah, that's right. They have other stuff for the rest of the island. This is particularly the sacred grounds and the pilgrim areas. And Adele says, expected you home there by now. I seldom see you when I go for my evening constitutional. Is everything okay?
Oh, yes, fine, just a little, uh, it's been an interesting day. I'm fine. Just, I'm very weary though. It's been a long day. I need to rest.
He misses the obvious stress in your voice and goes, yes, it's been very, very busy today. Lot going on, isn't there? New dignitaries. There's someone at the gate. Someone from the High Council was visiting. It all seems to be happening at once, doesn't it? Anyway, I won't keep you. Good day. I'll see you around the I'll see you around the temples, I imagine, tomorrow.
Wait, 1 moment. What? I must have been in a daze. I had so much on my mind. What new dignitaries do we have?
Oh, I'm merely a gravedigger. I wouldn't know, and you recognise that as a bit of a joke. So obviously that he's not a
He knows
gravedigger.
everything that's going around.
Yeah, he's not a gravedigger. He's the gardener essentially. But he's like, no, I don't know directly, but definitely.
Tell me.
Definitely a high dignitary I'd heard. You know they don't let us in on everything, but a high dignitary had arrived. I have no idea who they are, or who they could be. And if you want an insight on that, you can.
Yeah. I think this guy knows a lot of the gossip and inner workings of stuff. What was it? Insight?
Yeah.
Did you say? Yeah. Yeah, 21.
Strangely, despite the fact that you have literally just been face to face with Darian Eppelgeyer, no, he doesn't seem to know this one.
Interesting.
He also said that there was someone at the gate and a lot of buzz today, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my mind is elsewhere. Got a little bit from him, but I don't have. I don't feel like I've got time to press him or anything, or presence of mind.
Excellent. Now, just a side that Tanari doesn't know, Brendo, the person at the gate is Formosa.
Ooh.
And you have picked up your instrument, and because the gate was shut, you threw a few rocks at it, and when you got attention, you played an impromptu tune to try and convince them that you should be let inside. Would you roll me a performance check to see how that went?
Ooh, I'm sweating. Yeah, that's fine. 15.
Of the people who were watching over from the other side of the island, one of them couldn't hear because of the flowing water. The other three, two of them reckon they should let you in, but the higher ranking one went, well, no, we just can't let someone walk in when the gates are closed. So they opened the gate down, and you were promptly arrested.
It's not the first time.
Now, arrest on this island doesn't always take the same form of chains and lockup. You are currently comfortable in a slightly officious-looking entrance chamber, but in a very comfortable lounge offshoot. Nothing beautiful, but like comfortable chairs, functional but comfortable, warm. You've been offered bland but good enough snacks, and you're just sort of, doing what you do when you're waiting for paperwork to be done, and that is wait.
This is the best cell I've ever been in.
And if you say that, somebody just walks past and goes, "Yeah, there's worse places to be knocked up," and just sort of and off they wander.
Sacramental wine.
That's it. They keep the good stuff out back though.
Oh, it'd be behind the walls, right?
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, back to Tanari. You head back into the accommodation, and you are met at the door by the matron, almost as though she knew you were coming, as always.
Yes, I feel like she's always been able to predict me.
To know, you are coming back rather early today. Are you feeling alright?
Yes, much earlier than I expected.
Don't lie to me.
Yes, well,
Just quickly, Sasha, I would say that the matron was not aware of what's going on.
Oh, I'm just assuming that's like because she raised them?
she would never admit to it though.
No,
Yeah.
she would know something was going on, I would
Yeah.
imagine, just from the way she looks, but she definitely doesn't know about what Tanare was planning in the
Yeah.
slightest.
Oh yeah, it's like, but getting the tone of it's like, you're about to act as if nothing is bothering you,
Yeah.
or at least try to put on that front, and I'm not having that.
And I would also have like a packed bag, and
Yeah.
there would be things that are unusual. My body language would reveal a lot to someone
Yeah.
who knows me. Yeah, that's cool.
Now, is there something you would like to talk about? Or is this something that you're going to shelf up in your room and mope about for a while and then come out when you're feeling better?
On that, matron, strangely enough, that's almost exactly what Tanare's friend has done tonight, which is what piqued your suspicion.
Yes.
Are we talking about her girlfriend?
Yes, what's her name?
Clara.
Clara. Oswald?
Yes.
No, too soon.
Yes.
She would be Clara Oblati as well, because
Yeah.
she was also an oblate.
Relationship problems?
You know how it is. The temple keeps me very busy. It's draining work, and I just need time alone. Alone at the moment. I just can't.
Look.
I can't talk.
Look, you know when dinner is? I'll leave you be. But if you would like to talk about it after dinner, you know where to find me. You know I'm here for you, as I'm for everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, go rest up.
She looks up. So Tenare looks up as if she's about to say something. But kind of something in her just like halts her suddenly, and she can't make eye contact. She sort of jolts her head down and just defeated makes her way quietly.
No worries. Roll me a perception check.
Probably won't be good. 15.
You're partway down the hall before you notice Water Jen. A little bit older than you, very similar path. You don't admit it, but she's not as proficient as you, but she's much more precocious. Wouldn't say a rival, but she's definitely not a big fan of you. And with her is Water Garon, who, again, middling academically and in terms of performance, works in a slightly different role as you. You've had an overly positive engagement with them when you've seen him, but never been someone that you've really associated with. Associating with isn't something that you all do a lot of. But I mean, when you're around in the dormitories, there's that basic level of undercurrent of communication, and Jen particularly tries to hold court and has taken exception to you in the past, and they're just sort of milling. And as you walk past, Jen goes, "Trouble in paradise. Get it together. I hear it's going to be a busy evening."
I've never let anything get in the way of my duties.
Raises an eyebrow. Doesn't move out of your way, but there's room to walk past.
Yeah, I just try to ignore him. I'm not in the mood for more conflict. I'm not in the mood for more shit. I think it's been an intense day, an intense couple of days, and I'm just burnt out and can't be bothered dealing with their petty messiness.
Okay. If you head to your room, about an hour passes. At which stage you hear a knock on the door. Anything before that hour passes that you want to cover?
Since I'm here, I'd just like to hide the quarterstaff that I stole.
Tell us about that quarterstaff.
Okay, so thinking that I was leaving the island, when I gathered what few possessions I had, and which was not much, as being from a place where everything is provided for you, you don't really have many personal possessions. It's certainly not something like a weapon. But as I was leaving, thinking I was leaving, I went to there is a place where when someone has died, the deceased's possessions are stored, and they are like considered, whatever they've come to the temple with is considered to be an attached part of their being and their soul, and so it's meant to be respected and it's meant to stay together. The last person that I went through the death ritual with and helped pass through was a master, like an ancient master of a martial art, and he did not have very many possessions, but one that he did have was a very simple but sturdy quarterstaff. And even though I very much hesitated to take it and I tried to do it respectfully, I have actually taken this quarterstaff with me when I thought I was leaving, and this is a massive, like, this is taboo sort of thing. So it's not something you can hide. So obviously the matron saw it, obviously other people have seen it, and they're just saying nothing. But they don't necessarily know where it came from. Like, they would have seen it, but they weren't the one treating this ancient master, so they may not put it together that it was actually an artifact of this person's final days. So it's important, but not necessarily like everyone's going to see it, but she still feels guilty about it.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
You've sort of come into the room. You do your being in the room by yourself and whatever. And
Brooding.
Sorry?
Crying.
Yeah.
Brooding and crying.
Whatever that happens to be. And then after a while, you I wouldn't say calm down, but peter out, energy's gone. And you suddenly realize that the quarterstaff has been lying on the bed. So you get up and you've just put it where you want to put it when you hear a knock on the door. Because obviously that's when a knock on the door would come.
Yeah, that's when you're trying to do something yourself.
100%.
I realized that I don't think I actually gave a physical description of Tanara yet.
Yes, we should do that.
Yeah. Okay, so she is she has very, very long, like, plain mousy brown kind of hair, straight, but it's never been cut, so it's like really super long. But she wears a lot of layered robes in a lot of neutral kind of grays and blue grays and browns, and a simple leather wrap ties it all in kind of at her waist, and it just looks like just layers and layers of cloth. But on top of that, she's got like a cape cloak type thing that wraps around like a scarf almost, with a really deep hood, and underneath that she has very like soft but robust, like, leather leggings, and really like quite practical sturdy boots underneath, I guess over the top of the leggings. But and you don't see this very much because of all the long sleeves and the big flowing robe stuff, but underneath those she has gloves that come all the way up to just under where her shoulder would be, and they are like a very, very, very delicate, soft, I'd say like kid leather gloves or something, and just the fingertips are removed so she can still touch, but yeah, they're like secured all the way up to cover her arms. She's kind of very pale, and has maybe like just like a little bit of freckling, but she's mostly just very pale. Like, Irish people that haven't left Ireland.
Awesome. Okay, so I should probably take a note of that so I can
she's
clip it
also
for later.
she's also I've got it written down for
Okay,
you.
fantastic.
She's also even though she is about average height for human, or maybe a little bit taller, she's extremely sort of skinny and lanky looking, so this makes it feel like it's like an illusion. She seems a lot taller and gangly, but she's actually not really that tall. But also the long hair and the big robes make it's hard to tell, sort of. There's this weird optical illusion, and she seems tall, but she's just average, really. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Is there anything I missed?
No, that sounds pretty good. I think we'll go through these descriptions again when we bring them all together for the first main session.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Now, the knock on the door. You open the door, I assume.
Yes. Yeah.
And standing there is Warder Jen, and with them, Warder Bina. Warder Bina, again, another one of the group in the room, but is breathless at the door and says, "Oh, you're here. Good. I was just sent by High Priest Anissa. You're to meet him at the front." And the front, they say essentially the shorthand for that sort of meeting island.
Yeah. I was I had a name for it. I can't remember now. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever that name is, we'll retcon it in. And sort of Jen, sort of just standing there looking sullen. He said, "Be swift. He needs your assistance."
Okay. Okay. And did they just leave?
No, waits there for you to act.
Okay. Well, since I am, I guess, like I've just been like sitting in my bed brooding or something. And the sense of urgency, while I still feel it inside me, it's a little bit quelled by this mysterious figure telling me to wait. So I won't like necessarily immediately gather my bags and everything to go. I will just take a simple satchel.
Okay.
Essentials.
As you go to walk out the door, Benna says, he said bring the quarterstaff.
What?
I don't know what it means. That's just what he said.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. On that note, I think that's unusual, so maybe I will grab the bag that I packed.
Excellent.
Because I feel like that's triggered like a little bit of I might not be coming back, and also I've been sprung.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah. Oh shit! Oops, I'm in trouble.
And sort of they just stand there sort of awkwardly. You grab your stuff, you pull the quarterstaff out from the place you just stashed it.
Yeah. It's like under the bed or something, like really lame like that.
That's it.
They're quite Spartan rooms as well, so it's like, where else are you going to hide it?
That's it. And as you walk out the door, Bennett just sort of stands back awkwardly, but as you go, Jen sort of grabs you by the wrist or the arm and sort of spins you around, not roughly, but just to grab you, and says, "Have you seen Garen? I haven't seen him since before."
Yeah, should I have?
No, it's fine. And then she just sort of...
No, Wait,
steps
y-
back and goes,
Wait, today's been an unusual day. You seem concerned. Tell me.
"Oh, I just haven't. No, not really. I just haven't seen them since we were in the hall before, and they went. I thought you might know. Never mind. Don't worry about it." And like you can see, she's dismissed it pretty much. She's like, "No, well, if you don't know, you don't know." So she's not worried. She's just like, you know, they weren't.
Yeah, I'm in my own world, so I have no idea. Like, I didn't even really pay attention to them in the hall, so I've got, like, whatever.
Excellent. And then so she just lets you go, and off you go. So you head down. It takes you about 10 minutes to make your way down through the temple, through the pilgrims' quarters, and into the front. And when you get to the building where, unbeknownst to you, Formosus has been waiting, you see, just standing there, comfortable, High Priest Anissa. And you can see, they see you coming up the path, and he's waiting for you. And as you get within, quiet earshot, he says, whatever he says, I don't know. Brendo's in charge of that.
Whoa.
So he's like quite old.
He
right?
got the glasses on and everything.
Yeah, I saw the glasses come down.
Ponder something with me.
Oh, High Priest Anissa. I heard you were looking for me?
They say there are many ways in which one goes forward, but only one way in which we stand still. What do you make of this?
I think it's an analogy for life. There are many paths while we are living, but in the end we all come to the same still point at death.
Yes, indeed. And yet, and I would do a side glance towards the quarterstaff. Do you feel that some paths are not offered?
Not offered? I sometimes there are things that are so unexpected, so unprecedented that you're not ready for. I think sometimes you unthinkingly act.
So, Brendo, just for the next time it comes up, you're going to ask Tanare to sort of guide Formosus. That was your initial idea here. So, leading to it, that's where you want to go with it. Aside from that, go ahead. While you do that, I'm just quickly going to grab a drink, so I'll pop back in halfway through it.
Oh, give me 1 sec. I'll just
Okay.
I won't be long.
Okay. Pausing 1 second.
Now I get to stew of how I'm gonna fully
I can still hear you.
confuse- Damn it!
Gotta save the evil laugh, okay? Save it for the moment. Okay?
Right, you
Now,
got this.
remember,
And
don't act like an evil villain. Be an evil villain.
Alright, set the scene. Let's go. I tried as much as I'd love to have my glasses. I actually can't see. So
Dramatic effect.
that's it.
I just sort of realised a few minutes ago that we've got a lot further towards it's 9 o'clock right now, and we're still in
Ooh.
here. So I'm happy to
Did not
keep going.
realise.
I'm happy to keep going for a while because it's only work tomorrow. That's not important, right?
I will make it quick. Like that whole 4-hour lecture about life and faith and responsibility. I'll condense it to like 5-10 minutes. You guys can fill in the blanks. That's it. I'll just start closing my tabs of wise quotes for old people to say.
Or your spontaneous babble generators.
Yeah,
Cutting room floor Yoda lines.
yeah.
Oh, I have nothing like tonight or tomorrow, so I can go whenever. But I understand that other people have lives.
Yeah,
Sadly,
I can
yes.
continue.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Do you feel that you need something more, something greater than what you have right now?
I wouldn't say greater, but something different. I feel like I need to just be away from here. I think I can't
They
stay.
said that
I can't stay stagnant here.
some of the greatest of us once thought as you did, act as you do, and in a way, by being away, they have truly been able to find themselves.
Yes.
It's like a personal pilgrimage of sorts.
I think I've always been afraid of the world out there. I still am. It terrifies me. But I think it needs to be my direction.
So you do walk your own path.
She looks abashed, like a little bit like embarrassed.
Well, if you are feeling that you are brave enough to say goodbye, then the gods and the world before you will present you with another hello. That said, if you would indulge me in one task.
At this moment, you hear a window break.
Oh no. I just be like, what?
One last favor. If you could
yes.
please attend to that.
Certainly. Yes. Of course. Of course.
Oh, and one more thing. This isn't a goodbye. Think of this as a we'll see you soon.
It's never a goodbye until the end, right?
Exactly.
And he sort of nods, lets you know that the conversation's over, and sort of steps aside, sort of gestures you inside the building. Roll me a perception check.
Right. Oh, I got a nat 1 for a total of 4.
So you go straight through the door and inside.
Yeah. No idea what's going on.
So you walk straight inside, you sort of look to the left and right, and then you go into the cell, which the door's ajar. And as you walk in there, you see a fair... Do you have feet or hooves, Brendo?
Please say
Good
hooves.
question. I'm pretty sure I'd set them as hooves.
Little satyr legs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were.
You see a pair of little satyr legs flopping out the window, and you sort of look up and go, "Wow, that's a good jump." Because it's it's not a low window. It's not high, but a little bit lower than you'd expect in a toilet window. So maybe 4 or 5 feet off the ground it starts, and you can just see them sort of hopping out the other side.
Wow. That's unexpected. So he's out the window.
You see him there. His legs go out, and then they disappear.
Okay.
But as you go in there, you could literally call, and he'd be right there, and know he's been caught. So he'd then have to run or stay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just I guess I'm still in shock, but I've been told to do this one thing, and that's my free pass for all the for basically rebelling a little bit. So I'm just like, hey, you.
Pay no attention to the man falling out of the window. I must leave here. Goodbye.
No. Wait. I'm leaving too. Wait. I have to talk to you. And I'll scrabble to try to climb up, even though it's ridiculous, and I should just go around, and I know this, but I'm like...
If I can hear this, I would stop, pivot, and just stand there and watch.
Yeah, watch me struggle. So, yeah, okay. But I do have the quarterstaff. Can I push myself up?
Yeah, you get up eventually. It takes a little while. You can roll to see, like, you can roll if you want it to work really well or really poorly, but you'll get through one way or the other.
Alright, let's do it for fun.
Yeah.
Would it be athletics?
Athletics
Or
or acrobatics, your choice, depending on how you do it.
They're
Pole vaults through
both
the
the
window.
same, but I would like to do acrobatics because I think it'd be more entertaining.
100%.
Oof. Okay, I got 10.
Yeah, so what you were trying to do doesn't necessarily work, but it doesn't fail entirely. So the
Oh, okay,
pizzazz isn't there, but it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. I'll, see that he's waiting there. I imagine with a bit of a smirk on his face, like he's entertained by my clumsy attempt.
It's maybe a 3 out of 5. Not too bad. You should not land on your knees, though. It is very bad for them.
This will make her laugh, despite having a very emotional day. I think she just was like, oh, today has been insane. You have no idea.
I do not
Thank
even
you.
know what day it is, so
Thank
you're
you
doing
for
better
making
than
me
I am.
laugh.
That's
Oh.
okay.
Yes. It's been quite a day.
And like in my head, I'm like rattling around the strange tea lady's musings. You're saying you need to leave?
Yes, it's a little bit of an unplanned departure. But yes.
Well, I don't know. Do you play? What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I hold people while they die.
And as you say that, you hear a deep rumbling horn.
Maybe we should take this for another time. Come with me if you want to.
Tanare, you recognize that horn as the horn of warning. You've heard it only once before, and
Okay.
it only comes out when something that needs immediate action happens. You start to hear a bustle and a noise. I want you both to roll me an insight check, please.
13.
And a 12.
12.
Okay. For Moses, you've just broken out of a window. You have no intention of being charged for that.
Of course not.
And Tanare, you're standing here outside a broken window, which you were sent to deal with,
I just want to get away.
having done 2 or 3 questionable things today. But, like, you know that the front gate's shut. You're not getting out that way. So that's going to be an ongoing one, Sasha. So you get the impression that sometimes the safest way to deal with danger is to run straight for it. You know that the horn is normally blown from this center square.
Yeah.
There would have been a previous horn if it came from here that would have directed it, but at this stage you didn't hear that, so you don't know it didn't happen. So you know that it's probably back here. Your first thought is probably an instant one, as that is when this happens, you need to report back to the matron.
Yeah, it's kind of instinct kicks in feeling, right?
Yeah, but
So
again,
just the training takes over.
this is the most significant group notice that could be passed out in this entire island.
I'd like to just on that sort of, I guess, thought process, without really thinking it through about like having a visitor with me, I will say, friend, my hooven friend, this is a dire warning. This is not an everyday occurrence here. We have
I
to
am
go
not
now.
an everyday occurrence here. Thank you so much.
And I will try to drag him actually like through
Wait. So we're going towards the warning home after I just smashed the window?
Yes, believe me, this is not about your window.
Oh, thank the gods. Okay, cool. Lead on.
We need to go somewhere safer than here.
Okay.
And I'll just try to drag him to either a building that I feel is safe or some way, like wherever I would feel like is my general muster point for this kind of situation.
By the time you get through the middle of the pilgrims' accommodation, you're starting to hear bustle and hustle, and anybody who is of the island is draining that way towards the center. So, you either follow or eventually you'll be drawn with them.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I will, having the confidence of living here my whole life, I will just like maybe grab, not roughly, but just take Formosa's hand or arm, and just to guide him and be like, he's with me, kind of signal to other people as well, and just with that confidence that of someone who knows their way around really well, just walk through and like pierce the crowd kind of thing, and just head to where I feel like I need to go, probably toward the accommodation or the center. But yeah, just like without any of that confusion and thing of a crowd just cutting through, you know.
Yeah, it's quick. You get well ahead of it. In fact, by the time you get back to the place, you walk to the door as the matron comes out and says, "Well, go. Let's go," and just continues to fall in step with you as you head forward towards the main square.
Okay.
Oh, this hustle and bustle. What is going on?
It's not usual. Today, like I said, has been an unusual day.
And so the matron, you stay in step with them, so you're there as well. It takes you a few minutes to get back around the corner, and most of the crowd is assembled here. Obviously, and inexplicably, as usual, the High Priest Anissa is there already.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people sort of milling around wondering what's happening. And as...
I'll just beeline to him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take over from you now, Brendo. You might...
Thank God.
I don't have glasses to
like...
put down, but different perception on this guy at the moment. He's there. He's looking tense. He's concerned, and he's like, "Thank goodness, Tanare. My eyes were searching for you."
Yes, Pierre. What, Anissa? What is going on? This is very unprecedented.
Hello.
Was he with you the whole time?
Yes. This is my new friend. What was your name?
I am Formosus Lasili.
Oh, what a lovely name, Formosus. Yes, we were together this whole time. When the sirens blew.
Indeed, that window was broken when I got in there.
There was no.
Tanare,
not important.
and she talks over both of you. And Tanare, did you meet anyone else tonight?
Anyone else? I did on the North Island.
Who?
It was the what was it called, the High something of the Shepherd. One of the Death Shepherds. I don't know where he came from.
And he just stops you, and he says, "Come with me."
Yes, of course.
Telna, you too. And he sort of looks at you and
Formosa.
goes, just turns and walks. He doesn't say anything about it. He's just like, "Nah, there's no time for that, whatever."
Hey.
Yeah.
So,
And I probably look so out of place as well with all these simple tokens.
You'd be all
Fantastic.
colourful and stuff.
Yeah.
Like most people here wear neutral tones and very subdued, sort of undyed wools and things.
nobody stops you from following, though.
Yeah. I feel like I'm still kind of just
Yeah.
gripping your arm as this like almost a desperate clinging to something that isn't like something that feels like my direction. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm so lost that anything feels.
It's like an
Like,
anchor point.
Yeah. Even though you're completely new and you're this wild card, it's kind of easier than the rest of my mess, you know?
Okay, so the three of you follow behind the High Priest. the two guards sort of on the bridge let you through, and as you walk up to about here, you see High Priestess Indomain, Mola Indomain, standing there over a dark shadow on the ground. And as you get close, you recognize it as a body. All three of you give me a perception check, please.
Ooh.
Actually, an insight check, please.
And
I got-
11.
23.
Ooh, go! Damn!
So a 20,
Laser focus.
a 23. Matron, what about you?
What am I adding with Matron?
It'd just be a straight D20.
Actually, should I just use mine? I've got pretty decentish perception.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So roll to everyone. Okay, yeah, she's not saying much.
Cool. And what did you get, Brendo?
I got an 11.
You, even in the dark, Tanare, your stomach freezes because this is Lord Darian Epelgeir. You can see just by the shape of him, by the robes, and lying beside him is the silver mask. As you walk up closer, the high priest doesn't even look at the body again. He looks at Mola and goes, Mola, tell me. And she says, it's gone, Pierre. They have the Ascension Stone. And then she sort of looks up and sees you and says, Matron, why are you here? An Oubliette? What is going on? And High Priest Anissa says, Tanari here has seen Lord Darian this evening at the house of a fisherman, Byron, who did not return from his duties this night.
He didn't return. I don't understand what's happening.
Nor do I. And that's not something you've heard him say often. And Mola says, should she not be detained?
Me?
And Pierre steps forward and says, Mola, this is Tanare. Perhaps she can provide some information.
He was perfectly fine when I saw him. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand.
We must deal with this. We must find the stone. And you even, with your high perception that's sort of still watching, you see that even the high priest is shaken here and doesn't know what to do.
Do I know what the Ascension Stone is? Like, is it something that I'm familiar with the religion or any of that?
It's a stone about that big. It's normally kept in the temple here. It was initially found on this little circle here. It's said to be the stone from which Vashir first ascended.
Okay, yep.
So, yeah, kind of important.
Yeah, sort of a central artifact of the faith.
Yeah, nothing important, but it's gone, and the de facto leader, or he who they assume is, he be dead.
Yeah. Does he appear like? Is there any? We've approached him now, right?
Yeah.
Is there any like obvious wounds or any obvious
Roll perception.
cause of death or anything like that? I mean, I'm fairly familiar with death and.
Yeah.
Did you say perception?
Perception.
Yep. Oof, I got 22.
You look briefly, you see the spread of a bruise and a little bit of a cut about there.
Okay.
Looks like blunt force. Appears to have been something that killed him. But there's something about it that just doesn't look quite right, and you can't place your finger on it. Something that's not what you would expect in a dead body of this age and this preservation and this new.
Yeah.
But you can't put your finger on it. High Priest Anissa says it's very important that you stay here. Matron, wait with them, will you? And he says, Mola, with me, please. And they walk inside, expecting you to wait.
Yeah, I've done enough wrong at this point. I don't want any more trouble.
I mean, do we go? Surely we
No,
go, right?
no,
Do we stay here?
There is no way off these islands, not safely.
Matron, you helped raise Tanare. You've seen how unsurety affects the flock. You don't agree with Tanare. You think she should go, and this and to say so would blow everybody's mind. But 100%, you don't think that she's going to get out of this well, regardless of what's happened from what you've heard.
Scapegoat.
Tanari, listen to me.
Yes, Matron.
What I'm about to say, I do not say lightly, and anyone who knows me would understand that I do not say this lightly.
Of course.
You need off this island.
I agree with the old lady.
Excuse me.
This is not important. This is not important. What do you think? Where there is danger? Do I go now?
Even if there wasn't, you need off this island.
You know a place, Matron.
I don't even know where to begin to leave anymore.
There is a spot where you'll be able to get off this island safely. I believe
You ask her.
you and
You ask them to follow.
yeah, follow me. I believe you've actually been there before with that little friend that you looked after that time.
Well, you, as a child?
Come on. No time to talk. Follow.
No. Let's go. And I'll grab or indicate to
Yes, bring the one with the horns.
our little horny friend.
Hey!
So the matron, you take the lead. The two of them follow. You go back through the crowd, and because you're leading, nobody even looks up. You take them around here, back onto the bridge to the island to the south. You walk, half jog in silence up the hill here, along the path, until you get to the top here, which is this one here.
Yep.
The middle one. And you push the door open. They don't have locks, most of the little temples.
Yeah.
And as you go in, it's a reasonably small shrine. You push aside a wardrobe because that's where hidden doors are, and there is a ladder down.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
This is not something people outside of our order normally see. You
Yes, it's not something that children usually stumble upon either, but we've already had that discussion.
Yes, Matron.
Now, are we going to get this done, or are we going to stand around talking? Please,
I am
after
so
you.
lost. Yes.
There's no need to be lost. There is a crisis happening, and even if there wasn't, this island obviously isn't for you.
Yeah, I just start going. I'm just like, yeah.
Let's go.
And the matron, you're fairly confident that you can explain this away to cover your ass. You might have to tell a few lies. Obviously, the tiefling is an easy target as somebody who calls the shots.
Outsider.
Yeah, it's not going to look great for you, but you'll get away with it.
We've had a murder on the island. I am
Hey now,
pretty
don't pin the
certain.
murder on me.
I'm pretty certain someone going
That's
missing
me that's taking
and
it on.
a tiefling escaping during the chaos is easily explained away.
And essentially, everybody assumes the matron's going to punch herself in the face, just to
Yeah.
make sure there's an
Yeah.
appropriate bruise.
That's right.
Yeah.
We can probably do that with an illusion, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Now,
Right.
actually,
She's used,
would it
she's
be
used to-
accurate to assume that the matron is a cleric?
not necessarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Um,
I wasn't thinking so either. I don't know.
She's not not. I think she's as high as you can get without being one of the high priests or the
yeah.
arcane. So I'd
Yeah.
say she doesn't have any magic abilities. So that's kind of why she's
Yeah, she's a professional
Yeah.
bureaucrat.
yeah, and she's kind of made this her life because she knows there's no further advancement.
Her
Yeah.
superpower is paperwork.
Yep. Yep. Superpowers, paperwork, and knowing people.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna take the turf illusion, she's McGonagall.
Yeah.
Is she coming with us or is she staying behind?
Wow.
She's gonna stay.
This
She's
is
gonna cover our tracks.
She is going to cover your tracks, but that does actually raise an out-of-game question. We can have her follow down and at least show you the next door, and we can have a combat, or we can fade forward and then have a quick session of you escaping, and then take it up some years later. That
I'm going to
Incidentria.
say that from here she's going to focus on covering their tracks.
Yeah. I would say it would make more sense that she would just be like, "This is the way out, go,"
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
Okay, so
In a typical Formosus fashion, I will offer to take your hand, dear matron.
You're wasting time.
Please indulge me. I may not know when I get to see you again.
I'm already climbing down.
yeah.
Lost cause, man.
You broke into this island. You're lucky I'm not suspecting you of the murder.
You know what? The matron is moving her hands around, so you know what?
Come on, be a gem.
I'm a lump of coal. Now get moving.
Ah, fine, you're so boring, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna blow pink dust in her face and cast Charm Person.
Is it glitter? Can it be glitter?
Yeah, it's like Formosus' fairy dust.
Yeah. It's totally glitter.
So I require the matron to make a wisdom save.
Oh my god.
What's the bonus gonna be? Actually, I'll
Yours.
just use mine.
Yeah, just use yours.
Now, I'm actually having trouble rolling my stuff on here. It doesn't want to roll the stat itself, like the thing itself. It only lets me roll custom dice. Does anyone have any insight on how to do that?
Don't you just click on it? And it
You should just
rolls it?
click on the number.
Oh, on the number.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah, that is 17.
So it's like, and then as I start going, now, I need you to make sure that when you
Flap!
say a certain... You know what?
She's just had enough of this shit, and she
That's-
has dealt with children that are like, unruly.
Down the
she's just like,
trapdoor. Go.
Seriously, Formosus' introduction to this game has just been so wrong and so perfect all at once.
I just, blow her a kiss and say, until we meet again, my lady, and then leave.
Yes, it will be all too soon.
That was fantastic.
I love Formosus.
And so, just to fast forward us through a little bit, you spend some time through the tunnels, which, Tanare, you have had, I understand, some experience with, much to the chagrin of certain individuals.
yes. As an errant child.
Exactly.
It was a long, long time ago now, but it's certainly something that has left an impression on my mind.
Yeah, potentially something for a flashback episode.
So you managed to make yourself down through and out onto this island here. chased, of course, by some denizens of the underground there. To the point, though, when you pop out of that top there, you bar the door and search frantically for a means of escape. One way or the other, you make your way off the island. You either have to jump into the stream and swim your way to shore down off the top, or you do manage to find something Titanic style that you can both fit on.
Right, like, a door. Okay. I'm not feeling the swimming through treacherous waters that are notoriously bad at, good at wrecking ships and that sort of thing. So I'm not feeling like that's a great idea. So is there anything handy? Are there any? So I was thinking this place is a little bit of like a where there are like sheep or goats. Maybe there are some pens or something that, or even a little fishing boat. Something.
This is the one island that has a temple on it that you've always noticed has no means of ingress.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's no way on this
completely
island.
separate. It's still kept, but somebody gets sort of transported over there from time to time.
I think I've just assumed that there's like a groundskeeper that lives there, and I've never actually thought about it. Okay.
But roll me a search check, both of you, to see if there's something you can find that you reckon you can float on.
Can I touch my new friend and give him guidance?
You may.
Oh, I said it too late. Was it what was the
guide yourself? Don't.
Can
let
you
me
guide
go.
yourself? You can, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm too busy nursing my quite red cheek.
What was the check again?
Just a search check. So a perception is probably all you have time for, seeing as you're being chased by nasties.
Okay. So that, and then a D4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not going to matter.
So what did you get, Brendo?
11, and then I got a
I got a 7.
that go? So that's +2. So 11 + 2.
So between the two of you, you get to the door and you look out and you see nothing but overgrown plants and stuff. And so you look around the little room and there is an old wooden bookshelf that you think might float.
Yeah, right. Okay. I guess that's the only option we've got.
I mean, it is better than floating on a door.
It's better than trying to swim.
This outfit, yes.
Nice. Okay, so I guess we're doing it. Ugh, I'm not at all confident about this.
Okay.
That is fine. I tend not to think about it too much.
And this would be the time where the program goes to an ad break. End of chapter, and we come back a few years later, which is what we're going to do.
Yay!
And we'll do some perhaps rolls later on to see how well or poorly that went. But I figured you guys now have at least that story. I would think, and you're welcome to correct me, that you either part ways or you make your way to Sedendria together and then you part ways.
I feel like I would follow his lead because I have no idea about the outside world.
This would be fantastic because she is so naive about the outside world. I'm just gonna mess this up and build it up and be like, I am a big celebrity. We're going on tour. Come with me. I'll show you around. Show you how the world works.
I've never used currency.
Fantastic.
It doesn't exist on the islands.
And you'll see
Exactly.
a world of pure imagination.
Moses's imagination.
Yeah.
So, am I assuming correctly that the money you start with is basically money that you also grave robbed?
No, I was going to have it where I actually didn't have, even though I've got money from the starting gear, I was going to make it that it doesn't actually have money.
Ah, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she'd have a few coins as like trinkets and like weird tokens of the outside world that someone had gifted her when she was
Yeah.
working with them, but she's not really aware of. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like,
she knows
maybe,
in theory, academically, she's aware of
yeah.
currency. But
It's like maybe, as you were saying there, because of your interest with the outside world, you would ask, like, people would occasionally take notice that you've got a very keen interest in the outside world, and they would have given
yeah,
you a few things to, yeah,
yeah,
a
yeah.
few
Well, I
things
mean,
here and
there's
there.
a lot of her duties involve helping people
Yeah,
adjust to the idea that they're dying, and a lot of that would be listening to their stories and
yeah,
their life. So part of her job is to actually engage with the outside world
yeah,
through other people. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, someone may have given her them as a thank you or something. So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, she does not have much, and it wouldn't be
yeah,
something she really has a deep understanding of or
fair.
a need to obtain.
So,
Yeah.
I would imagine we flash forward at least a couple of weeks, anywhere up to a month or so, that it would have taken you to get from Stormbreaker Island to Sedendria. Probably a couple of weeks, I think is fair. The maps don't have particularly good distances attached to them.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's the different distance that you're needing to travel.
Yeah, I mean, it's the nearest large city, right?
That's right. But you would have to be traipsing through or around the Mass of Tsoon.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see, though, that there are a few known paths.
Yeah, I'd want to totally stick to a road or a
100%.
path.
There's no way I'm wading through any marsh.
Paths.
Not in these silks.
Exactly.
So eventually you do find your way to Sedendria, and within 2 nights of being in Sedendria, Formosus has somehow convinced you that it's a good idea to learn the city by going to a pit fight.
Of course,
So,
got to see the sights.
Althea,
Yes.
where is your pit fight taking place? You have the choice of the slums, the market square, or the number 19, or the warehouses and dockyards.
Oh, I'm thinking probably the warehouse and dockyard. One of the less used ones, like sort of like tucked away behind a whole bunch of construction equipment. You can only really get there if you really know your way around the city. And potentially, potentially our lovely bard friend got a tip of where to go, or some strangely pale girl in a hood with odd, slightly glowing eyes handed left a map conveniently on a table.
Formosus has had some experience in Sedendria, knows where it is, and has heard of a few of the fights, and he has some contacts. You spent some time,
Yeah.
judging by your entertainer background, aren't you, Formosus?
Oh, yes.
He knows
I've heard
people.
stories.
He knows people in the taverns, and is
I know
able
a guy
to.
who knows a guy who knew a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew about the slum fight, but he's never been to the docks fights.
Yeah.
It's not safe for a bard to travel by himself that direction, but now that I have
So it's
a
around
compande,
It's around 1 a.m. By the time you get in there, and it's already quite busy. But you manage to find yourselves a spot a couple of rows from the front of the throng. And after the usual amount of fanfare, a definitely burly. At first, you think they're a half orc, but they're mainly human. You think. but you'd throw a couple of copper in to suggest there's some sort of giant blood in the mix there. Bare shirted, sort of three quarter pants like an old timey boxer with a moustache. Think the pit fight in Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. And jumps out, bald head, does have the little curly mustache because that's stuck in my head now. And the announcer says, and our champion, Darrow Underhorn. And he turns around and just gives the crowd the finger.
I'm like
Yep.
getting right into the
Classy.
crowd. We're like, yeah, fuck you, yeah, woo. And just trying to be like, come on, it's fun. We're having fun.
And tonight's challenger, again. Do you have a stage name or a fighting name, perchance, Alpha?
Well, she is incredibly pale and almost a dusty grey. So, I don't know, make something up. She probably didn't make her own that fighting name.
Yeah, it's
But,
like the,
He
And-
is...
And the announcer literally goes, looks over to the side and goes, do I really have to say it? And you see like a figure in a hood, like it's almost like it's a sheet, just nod, and he goes, the pale ghost. And
You can see
there's a bit of
some-
cheering, there's a little bit of
Right.
laughing, and a little bit of murmuring. Not derisive, but like the grey, did I say the grey ghost?
you
Yeah.
said the pale ghost.
Yeah. Oh, good, because the grey ghost is four flats, so the pale ghost.
And like, there's probably a few people in the crowd who are making comments about, well, she's basically fucking dead at this stage.
Yeah. It's not like you've had a complete run of losses, but
Like, she, like,
look, put it
just
this
had
way.
bad luck.
You are definitely not in the heavyweight division of illegal dockfighting, but you
No.
keep trying to fight through the heavyweight division for some reason.
Yep. It's got the highest prize pool.
Yeah, this is
It has
true.
the highest prize pool. She wants to make something of herself, and that takes money, apparently. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So, this will be a hand-to-hand encounter. And the announcer says, so remember the rules of these fights. There is no magic, there are no weapons. It is hand-to-hand pugilism.
So, as it's saying this, you see a actually quite, like, not super short, but pretty short woman stand up in sort of like tattered traveling clothes, and it looks like she's got parts of old clothes like stitched into sort of a half sash, half skirt that hangs down around her pants. And you see her pull out this like actually rather intricate and very oddly shaped hand axe and just toss it off to the side. Pull off her cloak and hood, and you will you sort of recognize her?
Actually, before you do that, as they drop it back, throw a perception check for me, Tanare.
Oh, me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perception. Oof. 5. I'm so overwhelmed by like the noise alone
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
sights that I've never been anywhere like this before. And the smells, my god.
Oh, that's all I could have hoped for. No, she doesn't recognize.
Yeah, so
I'd possibly say maybe do another one part way through the fight, because Althea does have a very distinct way of moving.
it was a long time ago and you look different.
Fair. Yeah, I look very different.
Plus,
I
I'm
look
overwhelmed.
like-
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not looking that closely.
So she just tosses away her hand axe. Like, you see her sort of wince, and like she's covered in bruises. You can see like part of her side is still bandaged up, and it's like she's really a mess. But she is also fucking ripped.
Yeah.
It's like just a combination of bruises and very lean muscle.
Yeah, muscle and scar tissue is what holds her together.
Yeah, not quite to the level of Uthal, but
I'm
not
still-
so much. Yeah,
I
not
was
so much.
picturing Uthal, I must admit.
Yeah, not so much Uthal. It's like not because she hasn't been torn up, but
Yeah.
she's suffered some damage recently. Like you can see that she probably hasn't fully recovered from a previous fight. She's recovered, but she's still got the bruises. You can see
Yeah.
it's like she's got a scab bit on her lip where her lip was split open, and
Cool.
yeah, it's like she looks like she's very much burning the candle at both ends.
It's conditioning. That's all.
All
But
right.
She
So
gets up and just very strong, like almost dancerish movements, but like using all of her weight with every single movement.
Yeah.
Just gets
Excellent.
up, just cracks knuckles, cracks neck,
All
and
right.
just
As you do that, the announcer says, "All right, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Will it be Darrow Underhorn?" And again, just a finger and a round, or will it be the Pale Ghost?
God, I
Pale,
fucking
pale,
hate that
ghost,
name.
ghost.
Hold on, I'm
Would
just
you
going
like
to.
put some money on the ghost. You seem pretty certain she's going to win.
I don't have money. What?
Ah, but my dear, you do, and I will just like a single gold piece, and I will hand it to you.
Well, I mean, I understand the notion of gambling, but what do I do with this?
I'll show
who
you.
controls
One thing.
it? Who takes this?
I bet 2 gold that the pale ghost takes out that big ugly bastard in about 3 rounds.
I've got a bet on me. That's a new one.
See, you do that. That is how you do it.
That's how you do it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Simple.
She will stand up and shout, I have 1 gold on the pale one. That's all she does. She doesn't actually know.
Well done. That was quite good.
Thank you. She nervously, kind of smiles, like, oh my god, I did something.
Okay. Just so you know, I just tried to put a prediction up. So I'm not sure if it worked as to who you think is going to win. So have a look in the chat and we'll see if it worked.
It did work.
Excellent. So you've got 2 minutes to place your bets using channel points.
I mean, I'm betting on myself.
100%. You can't bet against yourself. It's against the rules.
Wow, these odds are not representative to
Definitely
the
not
audience.
spamming my points right now.
Yeah. I'm telling you now, these odds are not representative of the crowd.
They're representative of our crowd.
That's
Yeah.
it. The only crowd that matters.
And
So 30 seconds to go. Oh, I'm not allowed to. Damn it. Which is lucky because I was not going to bet. I've got to go out there and change the odds there. I'm not going for the
Yeah.
ghost.
nah.
God.
All right. So the
Yes,
announcer,
we've got
as
to go.
those bets are made, so how much did you bet there, Brendo? 2?
2 and Kitty bet 1. So
And the ghost would, and Elfia would have put, should have put, 2 gold on herself, as well as going for the prize pool.
She's trying to, just get her odds up a little.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Now, Flurry of Foes is going for Darrow as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Now, that poll should just about be done. It's a prediction, is it? Choose prediction
Yeah.
outcome. So we've got 99% towards the Pale Ghost, which I spelled as Gosa. So apparently you are the pale sour ale now.
Yeah.
And 1 vote. Now apparently you can win channel points if you bet these right. So let's see what happens. So all the bets are passed, and the announcer notes that the activity drops down and says, "Okay, Darrow, the ghost. Remember the rules. No magic, no weapons, no cheating, no help from the outside. The fight ends when one member is unconscious or when somebody taps out from pain or any other reason. Do we understand?"
Yep. Come on, let's get this done.
And Darrow spits beside him, puts it into the dust just so it's not covered because he might be an a-hole, but he's not going to leave spit on the ground. Like, ew. And then they move back to their corners, and the announcer says, "And ready!" And then he Barney's out of the square before he says, "Let the fight begin." Althea, roll me initiative.
5.
All right, hold on. What do we got? Darrow is going to be this dice.
Could I have, realistically, knowing the fight was starting, have taken a dodge action as preparation?
Well, he rolled a natural 1, so it's not going to matter.
Oh, brilliant!
So he was still turning around, and he's, obviously you guys recognize pretty quick that giving everybody the finger is his calling card, and everyone loves it. And before he's even ready to go, you move as soon as they say fight.
Okay, first attack. I am actually going for a shove attack to get them prone on the ground.
Okay, just a note, you would know that this dude is huge. You're probably going to have to do that at disadvantage.
Size category, larger, higher. For
larger,
grapples
small?
and shove. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's 1 above with no penalty.
Beginning of a fight. All right, I will. The AC is going to be up a little bit. Then have a crack.
Yeah, I mean it's a contested roll usually.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Good. Okay.
Yeah, so it would be versus his athletics or
Okay. Yep. Done.
Yeah.
We'll go that. Roll it for me.
Not good. 9.
13. So you run forward. Absolute go for that shove and then trip. And even though he wasn't ready, he sees you there and just slowly steps aside. You run into him, but he's set his stance in time.
Okay, screw this. Martial arts, unarmed strike, bonus action, going around, elbow to the temple.
Alright, roll your attack.
That's better, 15.
15 is a hit. He sees it coming and he goes to block, but you just manage to run right through it.
And that is 5 bludgeoning.
Yeah, ghost.
For my sister's trying to do like that back seat.
Failed, kept momentum, went around, reverse elbow.
So as you...
Kick him in the knee, get him in the neck, go. Just like backseat managing the fight.
And Tanara is just so like invested now. She's never like gambled in her life, so she's like really like, wow, this is amazing, quick, like adrenaline pumping, and she's like on a high from just having.
We're like feeding energy off each other, just trying to make sure the ghost wins.
Yeah.
The veteran, as you come in and run your elbow through there, so you just sort of elbow through. As you follow through, the veteran cops it, and then just comes back with 2 fists and tries to hammer you over towards in the shoulder or over the head as much as they can. Like full on 2 fists down. Alright, to attack. 17 natural plus... Well, so I rolled a natural 17. So chances are that hits.
That'll do it.
What are you using for your unarmed strike? Just the natural, the plus 5 there? 1d4 plus 3, aren't you?
Yeah, 1d4 plus 3 because monk.
Yeah, this guy doesn't. The basis I'm using does not have a base one. So 6, 7. He's going to do 1d4 as well.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it's 1d2 plus strength.
Yeah, this guy's an unarmed.
Yeah.
This guy
But-
can unarmed.
Tavern
Unarmored.
Brawler.
Yeah, he's
Tavern
absolutely
Brawler.
got the brawler.
Yeah. Yeah, Tavern Brawler 1d4. Come on,
Take-
bring it.
Takes 5. You take 5 damage.
Oh, that's chunk.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, if you all go, if you go to the, I think it's the right-hand side of the screen on the Twitch, you should be able to bring up the hit points live from D&D Beyond. Actually, 4 hit points you're taking, not 5, because I can't count.
Okay, so I'll just heal up 1.
Yeah. So I'll, are you adjusting them?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'll leave you to adjust them then. I was just about to. So, and I'll make that a habit, I think. I'll let you guys adjust the hit points wherever possible, especially while I work out what the hell's going
Yeah.
on here.
Although it doesn't seem to be updating on the stream.
Okay.
Might
So,
just have a delay, or
yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
a few seconds delay, I would think.
Yeah. No, it hasn't even updated my icon.
Okay, cool. So we'll play with that. I know it came up. You're not using
I'm
the
on-
old one again, are you?
Yeah. I'm on 5 out of 9. No,
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
using Elfia.
Okay, nice. I've got it in front of me as well. So, all right. So that's your turn again.
Yep. Well, the trip obviously didn't work. So, yeah, I'm gonna just go about this the regular way.
Pow pow.
Aye. 22 to hit. I don't believe that possibly hits.
Is that a natural?
That is 17 plus
Wow,
5.
that's nice. Yeah, that's a hit. A palpable hit.
Oh yeah. Low roll. So 4.
4.
4 bludgeoning. And you know what? This one is going to be her sort of going for a going for a back fist. And just as she hits, she's going to just grab onto the back of his neck. And does 10 do it?
A 10
Yeah.
for what, grapple?
No, this is just me flavoring the unarmed strikes.
Oh, okay. What do you want to do?
My plan was basically back fist, grab onto back of the head and bring it down onto the knee.
Yeah, no, that sounds like fun. Let's do it. You rolled a 22. That's awesome. So literally, despite the size change here, Althea just gets the jump on him, gets into the right position, lowers the legs, and brings the head straight down on the knees. And it does throw the guy. So much so that I'm going to give him disadvantage on his next strike,
Ah, yes.
which is a 13 and misses. And so
Nah.
he's a bit dazed, and he just goes for a bit of a haymaker,
And I
mistimes
just
it
slap his
completely.
arm out.
Oh,
I
you,
just
you,
slap his arm out of the way.
you don't even need to do that. It just misses. It runs short, so it just comes past, and you could slap it out of the way, or you can just
Yeah.
literally watch
I
it go by.
And I keep on forgetting to control my volume because people are sleeping.
Go
Okay.
again.
Okay. That is a natural 20.
Nice.
So,
So
yes,
that-
I believe...
The haymaker has completely destabilized him, and so you find the spike to strike.
So,
I was gonna say, in my excitement of this, and like I'm all amped up seeing this, I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy and like make the whole little like area like rumble and move around and like kind of have this like the land itself is sort of shaking and shimmering with effect.
oh, and that was a good roll. So 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 3 again is 10.
So, about half of the crowd noticed the Thaumaturgy rumble and start looking around, and more would have come of it, except the ferocity of Althea's blow. This guy is... Darrow's absolutely thrown, but she just comes in and wails on him. He goes down onto one knee, and everybody can see plainly that he's gone from being on top in the fight to being absolutely close. He goes down on one side
Work the body.
and
work
sort
the
of
body.
sits himself back up, tries to get up, and then just narrows his gaze onto Althea.
Yeah.
18 to hit.
18 to hit. Yep, that's a hit.
And he just, from knees, basically, he just runs through in a tackle, stands you up, and just dives onto you. Like, full on. Like, imagine the people's elbow only while you're in the arms.
Is this a grapple?
No. This is a
this is-
shoulder charge and then
Shoulder
tries to
charge.
drive
Yep.
you into the gravel.
Okay.
Rolling 1d4 plus 2.
Ooh, this could actually end me.
So if you roll a 3, you're going down. If he rolls a 3, you're going down. Hold
yeah,
on.
come on. 50-50.
It's a 2.
Yes.
So you take 4 damage. I'll drop that off. Oh
Oh.
no, you're doing the damage, so yep. So 4 damage.
I am on 1 hit point.
And so both of
Just
you are on the ground.
burn.
Both of you are prone. You're seeing stars. He's dazed. Your turn.
Okay, I'm going to do both of these attacks back to back, and depending on the outcome, it's going to be what I do.
All right.
So, first attack, 23.
That's a
Oh
hit.
my god!
Second attack, another natural 20.
Oh,
What?
Well, I'm very sorry to say, but that natural 20 is probably not going to get a play.
I'll just roll all 3 together.
So completely dazed, both of you. You're both at the edge of unconsciousness, and it's that thing, where both the bad guy and the good guy are trying to get to the gun first. It's one of those situations where you're both absolutely rattled. You can't hear the announcer absolutely losing his packet. The rest of you can, and he's like, I can't believe it. The ghost has a chance here. Darrow the Mountain is down. Is he out? What's going to happen? And you roll over and...
16 damage total for the round.
Yep.
And is this a, how do you want to do this moment?
Yeah,
Chance.
that's not my line, but let's say they only had... Yeah, just like you, Darrow had 1 hit point left at the beginning of this. So
Yeah.
what's your first attack?
This is both in one. I spin around, get onto his back, and get him into a headlock, and just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Okay,
Go to
as
sleep.
you do that, he very clearly passes out. So everybody in the crowd notices him pass out. Roll me a perception check before you give me your next attack.
So that was both attacks.
Uh-oh.
So the second attack was overkill on that one. That
Oh,
was
okay,
me
cool.
holding it for
Yeah.
about 3
So
seconds.
you feel him drop and you hold it.
I don't trust him.
Yeah.
He's done this to me before.
He probably has.
He's
And then
taken it.
eventually you step back and let him go, and he's sort of like on his knees and upright, and you step back, and he's just on that point of balance where he sits there for a second and just
Push.
and you see literally it's one of those ones where dust comes off the gravel, and for a second
Yeah.
it goes weirdly quiet, and
You
then
just see her reach over, clutch her side, and like, well, no, she's gonna wait until after the announcer goes. for
and then
that.
there's a cheer. Like at first of all, it's like, whoa, one, and it's like somebody not too far from you and Tanare, Brendo and Tanare. Formosus and Brunare goes, what? A 1? And then this cheer goes up, and you barely hear the announcer go,
Just-
what? She's done it. The ghost has done it. And
Ghost!
Ghost.
she
People-
falls back flat on her back, just slam on her back, just breathing.
people are not happy. A lot of people have lost money on this.
You see her just raise up her hand, just.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Like at everyone who's booing, just fuck all. And then she just reaches over, clutches the side, and you see a very faint glow moves down her arm, and you may hear a slight crack as one of her ribs snaps back into place.
And you see a few people just storming off. A fight breaks out over somebody not paying. And over the next 5 minutes or so, actually, Tanare, roll me a perception check towards the end of the fight.
Yeah, because now I'm paying full attention to her. So I got a 20.
As she's choking this dude out,
Hey, that sounds familiar. I mean, we were children.
the inkling of recognition comes across you. You don't know for certain, but there's a certain air of familiarity about this individual. You have no idea exactly at this stage, having seen them from a distance, where it comes from. But for some reason, you feel like you recognize them, and you have no idea why that would be, because you've never been... In your memory, you've never been to Sedendria.
Yeah,
She
And
does
you've
look
never...
how
And
her
you've...
parents looked.
And you've never met a
but I
pit
never met
fighter.
her parents.
Yeah.
That's true.
You've never met a pit fighter before, but you can't shake the feeling that you know this person.
It's like, may I do a perception check?
Yes, but it won't come into play yet.
Fair enough.
So do it now, but it won't come into play until later.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know when it comes into play.
Huh. Ironically enough, that's actually pretty high. But I'm willing to go disadvantage on this because
What
he
did
is
you
in pain.
What did you roll?
That was a total 20.
That's all right. No, that's fine. That roll is not for now. You're still in pain. So that roll will come into play when I want it, when we want you to have it. So a 20, cool. All right, good to know. So I'll just try and approach that as the right place. So you will recognise. It's just where in the interaction that it happens. So the crowds are starting to flow away. There's a few people there abusing Darrow and abusing you, and Darrow gets woken up. A couple of dodgy looking healers sort of come up and check on your wounds, give you a good berry so you can gain a hitch point.
Yeah.
And after about 5 or 10 minutes, Brendo, you get your 2 gold back and a further 4.
Hey.
Kitty, you get your 1 gold back and a further 2. Althea, you get your 2 gold back, but the promoter comes up and gives you a sack of 18 gold.
Yeah. That is more money than she has had in her entire life.
And he says...
Hey, funnily enough, so is this for dinner.
Yeah.
And he says, "Them's your winnings. Well done.
I'd get there eventually.
You've got your 2 gold for the fight. You've got your 6 gold for your winnings. And the rest is there too." And you can see he's a bit confused. He's like, "Somebody bet on you. Somebody bet for you. I don't know.
I mean, I bet on myself.
I just count the gold." And he just walks off. He's like, "I don't get it. I don't understand.
Not
Count
my
it out
department.
yourself." You don't know anybody
I ain't
else.
complaining.
You don't know anyone else who bet on you, but someone surely did, and you have made some gold.
Yeah, just counting it out.
All right.
Just slowly growing grin.
You get offered your exit out away from the crowds because there'd be a fair few people who wish to do you harm now for winning.
Yeah. She's going
Brendo,
to pick up her stuff, including a case. Yeah, including a case and a small rat that just hops up on her shoulder and starts licking at the gravel rash.
For Moses and Tanare, what do you guys do?
Celebrate.
Oh, celebrate? Isn't this the celebration? What do you mean? I mean, yes, let's do what is it that
Sorry,
you do?
I forget you are new to this. So first, you make a bet. Second, you win the bet. And the third and most important thing is that you spend your winnings on having a fantastic evening doing whatever it is you want.
I see. Well, lead the way, my flamboyant friend.
So at this stage, you're still standing against the little gate, the hastily erected gate, as people still start to leave. About 3/4 of the crowd of a couple of hundred have started moving off and sort of melting back into the area. And you see Althea sort of collect her gear and pick up what looks to be a small rodent of some type. And Tanare, again, that feeling grabs you, that you know,
Yeah.
that it feels like a soul that you know. It's like when you've spent a month or so with somebody who you know is going to
Yeah.
die, and you've slowly got them ready.
Yeah.
Except this person, apart from the bruise, is
Clearly not
healthy.
dead.
Is healthy. You can tell, you can feel from that aura that they're not going anywhere quickly,
Yeah.
although it was pretty close there for a minute.
So maybe like now that there's not like I guess the huge distraction and the like adrenaline sort of fueled environment, I'll take notice of that feeling a bit more.
And now, are you still wearing your oblet robes?
Oh, I am. I do have a kind of wrap cloak around me. I don't know how familiar the outside world is with the robes, but there is the symbol on like a little belt that like a little bit of imagine like a scarf wrapped around your waist with like the like bits dangling down.
Yeah.
So like there's little like whatever the symbol of Fashir is on that.
As you are wont to do when you're conscious at the end of a fight, Althea, you take one last look around the pit and around at the people there milling around, and as you look through, those robes catch your eye as familiar. So you're just looking through, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, I recognize that." You don't see it, but you recognize those robes, and you know you've seen them somewhere. It takes you a few moments to realize exactly where, because it was so long ago. So you think you can connect it, and then you can't, and then you're like, "Wait a minute, that's..."
Bullshit. No, bullshit. No. I'm
Now-
walking over and talking.
You don't initially recognize the individual, you recognize the robes. So if you go over
Yeah.
and go a bit closer, again, you instantly get this air of familiarity. Now, there's a tiefling, which is weird as hell. Like, you've
Just
seen...
like holding her hand, being like, "Come on, this way."
Yeah, you've seen like two ever.
Yeah, and they probably also look like the only happy people in the crowd.
You know, there was a few people betting there. You swear you noticed a big burly sort of rondel carrying individual who looked at the same time really strong and wholesome, but seedy as well.
Yeah.
Like walking off quite happy.
Yep. Yeah. Huh.
But then your eyes rest on this outrageous tiefling and somebody wearing robes that have struck you as incredibly familiar.
Oh, they're gonna get their pockets picked. Fuck. Okay, nah, gotta deal with this.
So yeah, you recognize them and you're like, "That's Stormbreak."
Yeah.
And you remember being at Stormbreak many years ago, and you remember an adventure. You don't remember why you had gone there necessarily, unless you do.
Nope, I don't. All I remember is that I went there with my family on sort of a long round trip. And that was very shortly after I first was able to cast light, but before any physical changes set in.
Yeah, and you remember that some people looked at you and spoke to you, and
But I didn't really understand.
And you remember meeting some people, one sort of young, not a child necessarily, but one young adolescent as well. And again, you get that wave of familiarity as you sort of survey and look over there and walk towards them. They're looking like they're talking. They haven't noticed you looking, and they appear to be about to move onwards.
No, I'm gonna catch up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I'm guessing like I've sort of been led away by Formosus. So he's like taken me away, and I've just gone, oh, I'll dismiss that feeling again until it
Yeah.
comes back, kind of thing.
You're like, Formosus is in full-on orate mode. He's explaining what you must do and the places
Yeah,
you
yeah,
must
yeah.
go, and he's completely oblivious to this. But you've still got half an eye trained on this mysterious fighter.
Yeah, trying
and
to place it.
you do hear calling out. No, you really don't want to go there. Actually, that's not going to end well.
And Formosus, you hear that as well. That's the first time you hear someone else talk. And when you think about it, like, absolutely right. You do not want to go there. Not with someone as green as her.
Look, I know a better place. Okay, you've been here before. I think I've seen you around.
I'll be
Possibly
like,
a
look,
few
friend, I don't
ago.
think you're really. Oh my god,
But,
it's the ghost!
Oh, please don't call me that.
I just start making a deal out of it.
Look, the name's Althea, okay? Look, don't call me the ghost. I wasn't the one who came up with it.
And that's it. That moment, Tanare, you're like,
Yeah.
who, what?
Now that I'm looking right at her,
Yeah.
do I kind of twig that I know her from?
You,
like, is it-
you suspect, but when she says, my name's Althea to Formosus, that removes any other question.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she'd be like,
Look, and
what,
you're from
Althea?
Stormbreak.
Althea,
Crap.
you're
I'm getting
Althea.
a tea.
I-
Yeah.
You rolled a 20, remember, Althea. Once
Yeah.
she says that, you put 3 and 2 together.
Wait, you visited
Bullshit.
the island.
Bullshit.
Uh,
Is that you? Is that you, Tania?
It's, you look so different. What?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Karen.
People don't leave the islands. What?
What do you mean
You
people
just
don't leave the
disappeared.
island?
You just disappeared.
But I left with my family.
I didn't even know. They don't tell me anything.
Look, what? God, like, you're saying no one ever leaves that island? I mean, I knew
Well-
I didn't see anyone. I knew I never saw anyone from Stormbreak since then, but, like,
People,
no one?
well, people that come generally serve for life, or they come for our services, which they don't recover from. We help them pass into death. It's not a place for people to visit. It's a place for people to die.
Well, I guess I'm just odd then.
I mean, there are some of the higher of the religious order, obviously, come and go, but usually, if a child is taken into the Oblati and looked after by our order,
Yeah, that wouldn't have gone well. I'd have gotten off that island in like 10 minutes. Anyway, let's walk and talk. I'm pretty sure they're sizing us up, and I'm not in a good condition to deal with that right now.
Oh.
So let's just move along from there.
Now, you...
Yeah.
Thanks, darling. You make your way towards one of the taverns on the edges of the slum. Not that one. It's a different one.
Yeah, I saw, like,
Because it's always
like
a tavern.
as we're going, it's like we get to certain streets where it looks like it would be a very direct route, and I just go, no, don't go that way. We're going this way. And
Well,
And,
I
like-
have to argue with the ghost. I mean, love
That
is
happens 3 or 4 times, and of those 4 times, Formosus, 2 of them, you see the street as you walk past and go, oh yeah, I heard you shouldn't go down there. And you recognise that this person knows Sedendria possibly even better than you do.
and it's like, and as you walk, like, as we all walk past, like, a small group of kids, you see her just, like, toss a few coins their way, and they suddenly stop paying as much attention to the group as they were before.
Yeah, okay. I am completely
it's al-
oblivious to this.
It's almost like she knows who the pickpockets are.
Almost like she maybe has this planned.
No,
Now, eventually, you find yourself at a not completely terrible tavern with the name of the Hung Vagrant's Toenail.
Classy.
don't let the name put you off. They're actually decent here.
The
And-
name didn't
yeah,
put me
and-
off.
Some
And-
people get put off by it.
And as you walk through the door, what order do you go through in?
I would
I'll
not
go-
be. I think I would be last, except for I feel like maybe I would fear being lost, so I will not go last.
Elfia's taking the lead, so she'll walk in first.
Okay, so you walk through the door. Formosus, you're last. And you walk through and you get basically to the bar. And as you lean on the bar, you see a bald dwarf. A big beard, but bald on the head, look up and go, Formosus! Wondered when you'd be back.
Oh!
You recognize this guy as Egan, the tavern owner.
Hello, you. Egan, yes.
Hey, Egan.
Good news. The last act just got a bottle thrown at him. We might be needing
Alright.
again. We might be needing your services before the end of the night.
Well, wasn't that Ponzi fuck with the flutes that squeak again?
Oh no, we've not had him here for a while.
Good, that guy gives me a headache.
Now, it is about 20 past 10, so I'm going to have to call it
Yeah.
shortly. So, that leads directly into an evening of whatever you want it to be. However, Brendo being the entertainer, by playing, you definitely get your accommodation for the evening for free.
Woohoo!
Elfia, you are healed by the evening, so after your long rest, you'll be back with everything.
Yeah.
11 for a performance is totally enough to get these guys on side. It's that time of the
It's gonna
evening.
be a big ballad to the pale ghosts, so I'm gonna be like singing,
every
got the
time.
lute out, prestidigitation to make the windows fly open, like
Thaumaturgy to make your voice boom.
exactly. Just
I-
really being like overselling the mighty combat, especially the part.
I've
where,
been
like,
traveling with you
you're-
for to get to the city, so I'm like, I'm sort of all down with the being over dramatic now. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what he does. Cool.
Yeah.
Now, after the main part of the performance, Tanare and Elfia, you get a chance to sort of reconnect. But before long, Elfia, you sort of talk about your last couple of days, and not long ago, you woke up bruised, battered, on the side of the street, probably from a fight. You can't really remember. But there was a note. And you sort of, for whatever reason, you get that out. And while you're halfway through explaining this to Nare, Formosus comes back to the table. And the note says, 3 there will be. To the crossroads you'll go. At a time unclear, but with the 3 you'll know.
Crossroads. Is this the crossroads? By the crossroads, would that be a location in the city that I would know of?
No, there's no place known as the crossroads in the city, but there are a couple just outside of the city.
Close
Like,
enough for me to
Yeah,
recognize.
still in the suburban areas where there's still some houses, not quite out into the farming districts, but there's one particularly back out the same way that you all came, known as the crossroads. So just out here a little bit, maybe a quarter of a mile.
Well,
It's written in a hand.
I've got.
It's written in a hand you don't recognize, but for some reason, you see it as a summons. And you've been
Well,
thinking about it for about 4 days and not acted upon it.
Hey, So, you two.
Hmm?
Yes. Unless you got anything better to do, I did get a note 4 days ago. Didn't really give a time, but said like 3 people go to the crossroads.
Oh.
I mean, it could be a trap. Could be fun.
Why would someone? Yeah. Okay.
Hey. Hey,
Is
honestly,
there money and fame potentially involved in this?
you never know.
Yeah, I mean, why not? What the hell?
And oh, sorry, Tanari.
And
Oh, that's fine.
And at
And
that, we're
not
going to
even-
fade out
yeah.
there.
yeah, just as Elfie is pulling out a map.
Yeah. So essentially, at that stage, we will leave them, and next time we meet Elfia, Formosus, and Tenare, will be our first full session.
Session
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, you said that session 1, the intent was for everyone to be level 2 by session 1?
Yes, you all level up.
Woo!
Sweet.
Yeah,
May I roll that die now?
Go right ahead.
So, manage levels. D&D Beyond.
Don't do it.
Level 2.
Let's edit.
Confirm.
Are you in yours, Formosus?
Yeah.
I'm just going to...
Manage hit points.
Now, the manage hit points with this one, it normally just automatically sets them. So rather than rolling, so you have to actually roll and then adjust them from what
Yeah.
they were, which is one of
And,
the
make
annoying
sure-
things.
Yeah, and make sure that your base hit points are accurate to the hit die that you're given, because when you first create the character, it defaults to 12.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Which, unless you're a barbarian, it's not going to be 12 plus your con mod.
Hmm.
Ooh,
So,
4. Average-ish.
Yep.
ooh, I get 7.
Rolled 4. HP mod.
Nice.
Cancel. Okay, so what's going on?
Level 2.
All right. Have you leveled up all right, Tenare?
I'm just loading it.
Yeah, too easy. All right, so go through that, do your level ups, and that will get us there by the beginning of our session 1, which means all going to plan within 1 or 2 sessions of our session 1, which is probably like session 6 or something. You'll all be up to level 3, so we'll be able to get going there. So we'll do it nice and quickly for those early ones, which sort of feel more like a
4 plus 5. That is 14 hit points.
awesome.
I get to add one more spell.
Excellent. All right, so I'll leave you to do that off screen, and we can talk about it and bring it back in
Yeah,
once
yeah.
we get to our
I'll
next
finish that
session,
up.
because I do need to pop off. But thank you very much for your patience tonight, everybody. I hope that the ninja setup. Oh, excuse me. The ninja setup works. I think it went all right. I just need to work out a way to make sure that I can move other things around without it disappearing. But look, congratulations and thank you. That was our first roleplay session.
That was wicked.
Yay.
So much fun.
So I hope that worked. The timing that we had planned to have enough to do those to do 2 different sessions, I sort of really suspected would never work. But I think we sort of pulled it together. I hope you all got enough time to actually stretch your legs in the character a little bit and give yourself some idea of where you might want to take it. Remember that the large part of the things we said and did can be retconned, but we now have a good idea of how Tenare Obligate left the cloister, how Formosus met her, and
Love it.
hey,
Yes!
it's amazing. And how Alphen and Tanare were reunited in the city.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. I appreciate all of the fun. Thank you those who joined in and voted and got involved. Hopefully by next Monday's session, where Anthony and Arlene will have their session that will lead them to the crossroads, I will know what I'm doing there. So check it out again next Monday. We'll see you then. No doubt there will need to be some random planning over the weekend at some stage. The weather and our situation will be such that this Saturday I'll probably be out on the block and not on the system, so maybe Sunday. But aside from that, we'll see you on Friday for hopefully some piratical adventures. Kitty, thank you. Sasha, thank you. Brendo, Sasha, thank you. And chat, thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I will speak to you three on the chat during the week, no doubt. And I'll speak to all the rest of you again soon. Thank you so much. And we'll see you for the next session.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.